everybody? Welcome back to the McDonCast, the funnest podcast in town.
The only podcast around. Still. Tucker, you didn't finish the catchphrase.
What?
You have to say the part where you hate the second part of the catchphrase.
It's implied.
No, you gotta say it. It's a catchphrase.
Is it?
Yeah, that's part of it.
When are we gonna get to the point where our opening is just like a barrage of catchphrases?
That's what we're doing now.
Like it's 20 minutes in and we're just like, bazinga!
Just like waka waka.
Waka waka!
That's what Fozzie Bear says?
That's Fozzie Bear. Sam, we have Muppets news this week. I'm very excited.
Dinoco from God. The context, Max one time saw a Conoco gas station.
No, it was me.
Totally unironically asked if it was Dinoco from Cars. I thought that there was a actual Dinoco gas station. Like that.
No, it's in other Pixar stuff.
Yeah, I know, but
like in Toy Story,
surely it exists somewhere. Surely someone has not.
I'm sure, like some weird guy in like Oklahoma named his gas station Dinoco. Yeah.
Guys, we are back with a whole bunch of news for you guys. Let's do a brief run through. We have a new We have a new Nintendo IP coming to a third-party platform. We got a new Sony Direct, whatever their state of play. We got some DC news. We got some Disney Investor Day news. We got a new Obi-Wan trailer and a review for the Batman. All for you guys today on the McDonCast, and some of which will be viewable in the thumbnail. So let's get this all started up.
Did you tell him I'm talking about the Batman?
Yeah, I said that.
And Obi-Wan.
I said that too.
And Pete Davidson.
That part I did not say. Is there Pete Davidson news?
There's Pete Davidson news.
Wacky stuff. All right.
Let's get started, Sam. What's our first piece of news?
First up
in quotes.
Today, we have a massive 3D Nintendo IP coming to third-party platforms.
Now, Sam, is this a critically acclaimed game?
This is a critically acclaimed game. I'd say maybe even bigger than Mario. Even definitely bigger than
all-time classic.
Everyone's favorite game. It's a 3D platformer. Nintendo developed.
Nintendo did not develop this.
They haven't touched it really since like the N64. Was it the N64?
It originally came out on the N64.
Yeah,
but it's been on other platforms.
They haven't touched it since the Nintendo 64. It's basically been unplayable since then.
Because it's terrible?
No, it's fantastic. And it is now officially coming to Steam. Let's get a round of applause.
For what?
Glover's coming to Steam! So if you don't know what Glover is, like most Americans,
as you should.
You play as a glove, and that's, I think, all the description you really need.
I think everyone knows of Glover.
Everyone knows Glover.
But no one has ever actually seen any gameplay footage of Glover.
Yeah, I have not ever seen gameplay
It probably sold like 4 whole units,
and
it probably, like, no one has ever played it.
I haven't.
Like, have you ever even seen, like a screenshot of Glover? You've seen the box. Everyone's seen the box.
I've seen a screenshot. But I've never seen the game actually played.
Yeah.
Anyways, so that's all fun and good. Cool.
Now we move on to not fun and good.
Nintendo delays Advance Wars 1 and 2 reboot camp after the current Ukraine war going on. And this game has a history of horrible release dates. Because the previous Advance Wars game came out September 10th, 2001. And if you're not an American, you might not recognize the date. That's 9/11.
Well, the day before 9/11.
The day before 9/11. And
if you don't know what 9/11 is, you remember when those big towers fell down?
Google it. Or don't. It's kind of horrific.
Yeah, it's really terrible.
Yeah, so this game just has a history of picking just the worst dates ever to release. And it continues its tradition, being delayed until a further date.
Indefinitely.
It'll come out probably by the end of the year.
Oh, they'll put that out, like...
They'll probably shadow drop it.
Yeah,
at E3.
well, no, as soon as...
They'll shadow drop at E3. That's what they'll do. Because, like, what else? Why not? Why not do that?
Well, because it has a physical... I mean, yeah, it'll probably come out. It'll come out in, like, a couple...
All right, anyways, what's next? We got...
Gotham Knights. It's got a release date now.
Yay!
October 25th, 2022.
Are you going to play Gotham Knights?
I will. I want to play this one. I don't really care about the Suicide Squad one, even though that's the one that Rocksteady's doing. But I love me some Batman sidekicks.
Wait, Rocksteady's doing That one?
Rocksteady's doing the Suicide Squad.
You're gonna
Oh,
play.
Bebop did this one then.
You're gonna play
Yeah, Bebop
Gotham
did.
Knights,
Okay, cool.
but not Elden Ring.
Tucker has great taste in games.
Listen.
He only plays
Listen,
the best games.
listen. One has Nightwing in.
One of them is one of the most critically acclaimed games, a genre-defining game. Anyways,
One has Alfred in it.
you can make. Have you seen the character customizer in Elden Ring?
Can you play as Alfred?
You can make your guy look exactly like. People have done runs where they perfectly create different
Can I make
celebrities'
him look
faces.
like Michael Caine Alfred?
Yeah, you can make him look like anyone.
Okay, I'll
What-
consider it.
Let me show you. One guy made him look like exactly like Kanye
I like
West.
how you refuse to look up trailers, but you'll look Kanye West Elden Ring
Yeah.
custom guy.
West
If you want to know why we don't do trailers and stuff currently, it's because
Look at this.
Sam takes so long to type.
Look at that. Look. Yeah, you're basically able to like perfectly recreate pretty much anyone.
That looks amazing.
It's so weird. Oh yeah, you know the Chad meme? Of, like,
Yeah,
that-
yeah.
Someone did one where they perfectly recreated that guy, and like they made the character's skin gray so it looks like the photo. Anyways, that's all fun, cool things going on with Elden Ring. Play it. No one cares about Batman Night game.
Batman Night game.
Bethesda is working on a 5-year content roadmap for Fallout 76, as opposed to just abandoning the game entirely.
Which is what they should have
like
done.
they should, and just scrap it and make a new one because they've been using the same engine since Skyrim, right?
I don't even get why they're doing this. Like, no one plays this game.
Yeah.
No one's gonna play it. It was so bad when they released it, it scared everyone away.
No one bought it since.
Mm-hmm. This thing was in clearance bins like
People
a week
made
after
more money
release.
returning this game to GameStop than the game actually
than
made.
Bethesda made. Well, like, this is a game you see in clearance bins at like 5 and below.
Yeah.
This is why. Remember at E3 the year after it came out, and they were like, "Guys, we're doing Battle Royale," and that was that year they paid all those people to react whenever they said anything, and everyone was like, "Yeah, but Battle Royale." It's like,
Yay.
and I know they have improved it. Like they've added stuff.
Of course, yeah.
that should have been
The
there from
game
the
is
beginning.
probably playable now.
But
But no
maybe
one
make
cares.
it playable at the start. People will want to play it, and then you add new content.
This is the kind of game where you see it like 5 years later in a Walmart clearance aisle, and you're like, huh, I remember that.
It's like
kind
No
of.
Man's Sky, where it released in
Yeah.
such an unplayable state that even though the game has improved and basically become a
Cyberpunk.
totally different game since its release, no one plays it because its
Yeah, 'cause
initial
it's-
release was just so bad.
Yeah, and like
Or yeah, like Cyberpunk as well.
Cyberpunk is.
Cyberpunk is still a mess, but I mean, it's not as a mess, but it's still a mess.
It'd be like if they released a movie, but it was just like the first 20 minutes and the CGI wasn't finished,
Mhm.
or like none of the effects were, and it was like a
like
rough
Cats.
cut. Yeah, no, and then they're just like, and we'll release the rest of the movie in 3 years. Thanks everybody, and then they just leave. It's like,
What?
what? Why did I spend all this money? I want a refund.
Yeah, they need to get a hold of that. All right. Finally, Super Nintendo World will open at Universal Studios Hollywood in 2023.
It's coming to the US, baby.
Surprised me. I thought it was going to take them way longer to get this thing built.
Apparently, they're already working on it.
Yeah, no, they started it like shortly after the opening of the Japan park.
I mean, obviously, this is going to be the most popular part of the entire Universal Studios.
Oh no,
theme
Universal
park thing.
Studios is done except for this Mario part. People are just going to go there for Mario now.
Yeah, because
Harry Potter Land?
Well,
No.
I think
Butterbeer? No.
what else do they have?
I want a Mario
I think
mushroom.
most of Universal's.
No, it's not. No, it's not. Look at Butterbeer right now.
I think most of
what
Universal
you find.
stuff is licensed though. Like I know they have Transformer stuff there, but that's Paramount. They have Harry Potter, but that's Warner Brothers. They have. I think they still have that Krusty the.
What do they own?
I think they still have that Krusty the Clown attraction, but that's Disney. As soon as that contract runs out, they're running.
Yeah, all the cool anime stuff's only in Japan. Max, what'd you find? Mm-hmm. Yep. All right. I got that one.
Yep. But like they have IP, but none of it's like theme parky. I mean,
Oh, they have the Fast
Jurassic.
and
They have
Furious
Jurassic Park.
If they moved all the anime stuff here, Literally, they would make so much money. Because
Okay.
it's only in Japan, but if they did it here,
They own
everyone would.
they
Yeah.
own 3, like they have the rights to like 3 major IPs. What they need to do is just scrap Universal Studios. Just create 3 different theme parks. Minions Land, just real life Jurassic Park, and Nintendo
Make
World.
Illumination Land.
Or that. Just do that.
You got Sing. You got
Mhm.
Minions. You got
Pop.
that one also.
What was the other one they did?
I think that's it.
No, they did Grinch. They have all the Dr. Seuss stuff.
Yeah, there you go. You can have your.
They have the rights to all the Dr. Seuss stuff and they don't use any of it in their theme parks.
Yeah, that is a little weird. I feel like they should at least sell Thneeds.
Or, like,
at least.
Just make Grinch Land.
How
at
funny would it
Christmas.
be if they actually started selling Thneeds?
That would be pretty funny.
It would undermine the entire message
Mm-hmm.
of both the books and the movie. So they
We're
can.
gonna build a new Lorax Land on this old rainforest.
We're going to tear down the woods and build Lorax Land here.
filled with fake trees.
Alrighty. What is next? I think that's it
No,
for-
but Nintendo World, very cool.
Yes, I want to go.
The only thing about Nintendo World is it needs more Nintendo.
It just needs to be more of.
It's
all the-
like 95%
Mario
Mario.
World.
It's Mario World.
It's a Mario 3D world level, but
yeah,
real.
but real. I want to go. You know
I
how
want to go to Zelda Land.
you know how in,
Disney Castle? No, I want to go to Hyrule Castle.
that'd be pretty neat.
That'd be super.
You know
cool.
how in Star Wars Land you can go in like the big real life Millennium Falcon.
Mhm.
Imagine that, but it's like Samus's spaceship.
I don't care about.
Or what if you could go in like what if there was like a ride where you like get to hunt like fake Metroid?
That's fine. I don't care about her spaceship though. Her spaceship isn't it literally just like a chair she sits in? It's not even that big.
That'd be fun. I'm thinking of things.
That's a bad. Don't.
real life
That's a bad
Splatoon.
one.
That's another attraction idea.
That could work. Well, maybe. I don't know how. would that
Animal
work?
Crossing town. Walk around, talk to fake villagers.
They could have just paintball.
Have
there.
a guy in a KK Slider outfit playing guitar.
Thought you were gonna say something else. I was
No,
like, what?
that's Universal's backup plan.
That's if the parks.
That's
go
what
through.
they need to tailor to the other demographic.
All right. On to TV news. Let's go. What is DMZ?
Oh, this is a HBO Max like 4-episode limited series with Rosario Dawson. It's about zombies or something. It comes
Cool.
out in like a week.
Epic. We got a trailer for DMZ.
It's based on a comic.
All right. Into stuff we care about. Obi-Wan trailer.
Obi-Wan.
And this is our first
You wanna pull it up?
proper Obi-Wan trailer.
And we got images too that weren't in the trailer.
You have like 15 ketchup packets over there. You had like 20 of them. Count
Don't
them.
need to dip every fry in ketchup like 4 times.
Okay.
It's right there, Sam. It's in the corner. You didn't even have to look it up.
Hollywood Report.
Uh,
Where's the Disney one? There it is.
yes, you gotta scroll through all the 8 re-uploads before you get to the real trailer.
All right. There we go. Now that we got that going. All right.
So, first, we're back on Tatooine, baby.
Yes, my freaking.
It's been so
favorite
long.
planet.
It's been 2 whole weeks.
I don't think you guys understand how much I love Tatooine.
That's right.
Bro,
More deserts.
Desert planet? Best planet ever.
Okay.
Love desert planet.
Sam, stop it right here. Okay. So first, we got his horse camel thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's just
Revenge
my
of the
favorite
Sith, it's back.
character. My favorite
It
character.
has a
since
name.
I was a
It's
kid.
named like Ruth or something. But here we have peeping old man Obi-Wan Kenobi,
Ooh.
spying on a 10-year-old
Spying on
boy.
a 10-year-old kid. Totally normal behavior.
No, but his dialogue over this section is like, "Hey, it's over. We lost. Give it up. Everything sucks. I'm sad." Right?
Mhm.
And then keep it playing. So we have young Luke here.
I'm zooming on Luke.
Who I don't think he's gonna be doing
Zooming
like much.
around.
We have slightly older Ewan McGregor. It canonically, in 9 years from this, is supposed to look like a 60-year-old Alec Guinness.
Yep.
Here we have the Inquisitor fortress from Jedi Fallen Order,
Cool.
which is cool that was brought over from the games. Here we have
Okay.
Grand Inquisitor.
We gotta talk about the.
So
Okay. His head is just the wrong shape, and he just really goofed up his head. Like,
this
okay, people were complaining about Cad Bane. Cad Bane was fine. Cad Bane looked totally fine.
Cad Bane looked totally fine.
Like, people complain about Ahsoka's head tails being the wrong length. Shut up. Just shut up.
Doesn't want to wear
This
those all the
guy's
time.
head is just the wrong shape.
Uh-huh.
And it's not even like, oh, the animation is more exaggerated. Like, no, his species' head we've seen before in episode 3. And Obi-Wan, in fact, was the only one of the main characters to interact with this species. Yeah, his head is just the wrong shape entirely. He's supposed to look almost like a cone
It's
head.
like they just got a thick bald cap and just went, that's probably fine,
That's
right?
enough. The people, they're not going to notice.
Mm-hmm.
Also, so this takes place before Rebels then, right? Yeah, because he's...
This is,
you know,
so...
Spoiler for Rebels, he gets thrown into an exploding
This is
reactor
10,
and
this is
dies.
10 BBY. So Luke is 10 now. 9 years before New Hope. Rebels, I think, is 5 years before A New Hope. So, yeah, he's still got 4 years left before he's thrown in a big explosion.
Like he's from
And we
Galaxy
can also see
Quest.
the sixth brother. here
Yeah, he's in the
as
back.
well.
Another Inquisitor, also from Star Wars Rebels.
A lot of
Looks-
people were theorizing that this guy might be Boba Fett.
No.
Those people are idiots. Yeah, that's just not who that is.
Sure looks like he's from.
He really does look like a Galaxy Quest character. Yeah.
All right, let's keep it moving.
General Kenobi.
General Kenobi.
Now we have So okay, this is I think him leaving. Then we have the big castle. We got more castle stuff. Okay, pause. So
Then
we have a guy
Uncle Owen
hanging
there.
right early in the trailer. Obi-Wan Kenobi's talking to someone about how we lost.
Mhm.
So here's my thought process. And if you go for a second more, so we see Uncle Owen right here,
Mhm.
played by
The guy who played him before.
what's his face? I can't remember his name. Anyway, so we have Uncle Owen right here, right? Keep going. I think I know exactly how this is gonna go. And then this is the big new planet they've been selling us on.
Cyberpunk planet?
It's supposed to be like Tokyo.
Cyberpunk planet?
Yeah. This is where Obi-Wan's gonna go during the show. This is the planet he's gonna go visit.
Not Cyberpunk. Ghost in the Shell planet.
And then we have the spinny lightsabers are back, Sam. We got the spinny sabers. And
So, yeah, okay. The spinny sabers.
mhm.
Those are the dumbest thing ever in all of Star
They're
Wars
so
canon.
stupid, but I love them.
hate them so much.
I love them.
Remember when they could fly
That's my
by
favorite.
holding it
Oh
above
my
their
God,
head
I hope they do that.
and using
I
it as
want
a
them
helicopter?
to do that. Oh, I want them to do it so bad.
That single moment in Rebels is why I dropped the show for nearly 4 years. I was like, you know what? I was down with the space wizards. I was down with the space lizards. I was down with all the other egregious plot holes in the entire Star Wars universe. I can't handle the helicopter. The helicopter lightsaber. That's too much for me.
That might be my favorite thing.
I'm fine with the jetpacks. I'm fine with the little frogmen who teach 20-year-olds how to use space magic. I can't handle the helicopter.
I love stupid things. And that's like so stupid. It's like, oh, here, pause. So, go back. So here we have like a Western showdown between
So
Obi-Wan
whose gun
and...
is this?
Okay, anyway,
Oh, whose gun is that?
that's Obi-Wan.
Obi-Wan's got a gun?
He's gonna use a gun in this because he's trying to hide that he's a Jedi.
That's really dumb. I don't like that.
You can tell him it's that
Yeah,
it's him
he's
right
using it
there.
Yeah.
But okay, so pause it again. I don't think he's gonna use his lightsaber for probably at least the first 5 episodes. Or I think he's gonna be, because he's in hiding, right? So
Yeah.
we don't have a lot of information about what Obi-Wan was doing during this time. There's been little bits and stuff in the comics where he was like helping out farmers being like beat up by Jabba's thugs or whatever.
Mhm.
He's been just like walking around kind of helping people out. But here's how I think this trailer is going to go. Okay, so Obi-Wan, it's been 10 years. He's sad. He's living in a cave.
Mhm.
He's talking to the Force ghost of Qui-Gon Jinn, who is 100% in this.
Mhm.
He's Liam Neeson. He's like, I'm not in it. They didn't talk to me. And I'm like, yes, they did, and you're in it. Everyone knows it. He's going to have a terrible wig because he didn't want to grow out his hair.
Was that even a rumor?
What, that Qui-Gon was going to be in it?
Yeah.
He's got to be in it.
I
Because, okay, so during the
talked
thing...
to Yoda's Force
The
ghost.
thing we do know about this time is that he was learning how to be a Force ghost.
That's true.
And he
Oh,
has
yeah,
talked
then
to
it
Force
has to
Ghost
be
Qui-Gon
Qui-Gon.
before.
Yeah, it
He
has
did
to.
that in Clone Wars. So it is Qui-Gon.
And Yoda told him, talk to
So
Qui-Gon.
go talk to Qui-Gon.
Yeah, and Obi-Wan was like, but
Qui-Gon
he's
is dead.
Even though I've canonically met him in Clone Wars. But he's dead.
No, but he's going to talk to Force Ghost Qui-Gon. Qui-Gon's going to be like, Obi-Wan, you can't just sit around and be sad all the time. You got to go do a thing. Obi-Wan's going to be like, no, I just want to sit in my cave and watch this
That's
little boy.
who he was monologuing to.
No. And then I think a Jedi is going to show up. A Jedi being either like a guy who is a Padawan, or just like another Jedi Knight. He'll probably be one that we know, like that we're vaguely familiar with.
Cal Kestis
Is Fallen Order has happened at this point. So
I think so, right? What year?
Here's why I don't think it'll be Cal Kestis though. I think it'll be just like some nameless guy, just like a Jedi.
Bob.
Yeah, it'll be Jedi Bob, right? And he'll be like, Obi-Wan, I'm on a mission to do a thing. I don't know quite what it is yet, what they're gonna do, but he'll be like, I'm on a mission. I gotta be here, but I need your help, Obi-Wan. And Obi-Wan's gonna be like, no, I want to sit in my cave and watch this boy.
I can't do it, not anymore.
It's over, buddy. Everything sucks. Give it up. And then the Inquisitor is gonna show up hunting the other Jedi. Which is why Grand Inquisitor's there and the other 2 Inquisitors. They're going to kill him, hang him in the town square, be like, hey, you find any more Jedi, we'll kill, and if you hide them, we're going to kill you, and we're going to kill that Jedi. And then Uncle Owen's going to see that, and he's going to be like, I don't want this Obi-Wan guy around anymore, because he's going to get my little boy Luke killed.
Yeah.
Because also in the comics...
in episode 4, he's like, don't talk to
Also in the comics, he hates... He doesn't like Obi-Wan. He's like, get out of here. But he's gonna be like, Obi-Wan, go away. Obi-Wan's gonna be like, well, if I can't watch the boy, what am I gonna do now? And then he'll be like, well, this Jedi is dead. I guess I'll do his mission, one last mission. And then he's gonna go to the planet. He's gonna fight some Inquisitors.
Yeah, they'll have.
He's gonna recover a Jedi holocron or something.
For 15 years.
They'll kill off whatever that Jedi is, because they gotta make the Inquisitors look mean.
And that's what the action sequence will be. Again, I don't think Obi-Wan's gonna have an actual fight with anyone in his lightsaber. Probably for the entire show.
No, they will for the Darth Vader part.
So Darth Vader, they did release an image of Darth Vader. They wasn't in the trailer.
He's also said that
he's in it.
Was it Ewan McGregor?
I think he's in it.
Hayden Christensen is in the movie.
Yeah, no, we know he's in the
show.
So I think Darth Vader is in it in person. I don't think him and Obi-Wan will ever actually physically like meet and have a fight.
We know that there's also a flashback with it.
Yeah, they're gonna do Clone Wars.
Ewan
flashbacks.
McGregor said, his face looks like it hasn't aged.
They're gonna do.
He saw his face.
They're gonna do
in
Clone
the
Wars
context of the show.
Whatever they're chasing down is like something related to a mission they did together during the Clone Wars.
I think no. So okay,
and there's gonna be flashbacks. Yeah.
Here's what I want the flashback to be. You know that scene when when Anakin's like super injured because he blocked like that fire from exploding when they were evacuating the cruiser that they went to hyperspace too early on, and then landed on that monkey planet with the monkey dudes.
Oh, the monkey guys?
Whoa, Sam, whoa.
Yeah,
whoa.
the little tiny monkey dudes. Yeah, and he's like super injured, and he's like, I gotta go help Ahsoka. Because then if she fails, then I'll feel like I failed her. And then Obi-Wan, and then he goes, Obi-Wan, how would you feel if I ever failed you? And then Obi-Wan's like, well, that wouldn't feel great. I'm paraphrasing, but that's basically how the scene goes. If they flash back to that and they just basically do it in live action, that'd be really cool.
But I think, yeah, he's gonna have flashbacks to him and in-person Anakin. It's the ketchup carousel. But they're gonna be flashbacks. I think the first whole episode will mostly just be him sitting in a cave having flashbacks.
Yeah,
like nothing's gonna happen in the
Boba
whole
Fett
first
style.
episode.
No, it'll be both.
What is it with Tatooine and just egregious flashbacks?
But and then he'll go off on his adventure, right?
It's just
he'll fight an Inquisitor. He'll convince the Inquisitor to be good, right? They'll help him complete his mission. That character will die, and he'll be like, "Dang it, I failed another person."
I don't think we'll see any.
I think we will, because the one they're focusing on is one played by Moses Ingram, and they're like
notable,
and they're like she's like really cool and like she's real brave and like stuff, and I'm like, okay,
I think
so
they just
she's gonna
want to
be
set her
good.
up as a villain for something.
No, I think we're gonna see one switch, and then she'll survive, and then she'll
can't
go
have another Inquisitor switch.
No, we can't. Why not?
That's like the two main ones we've now seen.
Sam, Star Wars is not a stranger to just repeating the exact same things over and over again.
Yeah, okay, but these guys only exist to
also,
hunt down Jedi.
because someone has to
have two of them do the exact same.
Because someone has to actually physically fight Darth Vader at some point, and it's not going to be Obi-Wan. Because if it's Obi-Wan,
they've already said Obi-Wan and Anakin.
They will fight in a vision. They're not going to fight in real life. Because if they fight in a real life, it opens up a real dumb plot hole.
It's not a plot hole. It just changes the context.
Yeah, well, it changes.
So when he says, I haven't felt it since. That just means the
It'll
last
be
time
9
he felt
years.
it was
No, but
this
like
and not that. It doesn't change it that much.
it's a dumb idea of like, oh, Darth Vader encountered Obi-Wan just like walking around a planet or whatever, and then they had a big fight, and then Obi-Wan left and just went back to Tatooine, and Darth Vader was like, I guess I won't pursue that.
But how cool would it be if they're hunting this other Jedi, whatever? Over the course of the events of the show, one of the Inquisitors finds out it is Obi-Wan. Darth Vader then finds out it's Obi-Wan, and then he goes and... Because then he just doesn't randomly bump into him. And then that also builds up, like, maybe Darth Vader has, like, some sort of crazy rage moment where he's like, oh, I thought I got him.
I think because they're focusing so much on hunting Jedis, I think Obi-Wan's gonna be like trying to protect like a little like community of like former younglings or something.
Master
Okay.
Skywalker.
Oh,
Because then they'll do a joke about how Anakin killed all those kids.
That's who that Jedi is gonna be. It's gonna be one of the younglings from Clone Wars. You know, the soft pilot younglings?
Yeah.
Master Skywalker, what are we
was I
going
gonna
to
say?
do?
I was gonna say something.
Would you
Oh,
use the
yeah.
spinny light?
Because the Inquisitors are like not on Obi-Wan's level in terms of
No.
force prowess or
Not at his
lightsaber
peak.
combat. Like not even close. Like not even in the same league.
But
whatsoever.
it is
The Inquisitors on a regular basis lose to, in Rebels, two basically untrained Padawans, that being Kanan
well,
and Ezra. Because Kanan left the Jedi Order a Padawan
yeah.
and never finished his
He
training.
does technically become a knight.
Technically, but it's like,
He gets knighted by a ghost.
yeah, exactly.
And Yoda.
You're a knight
Yoda's
now.
like, you're a Jedi knight.
but
or
it was like
whatever.
Yoda's force projection. That's not,
Mhm.
I'm not talking about that. And Cal Kestis, who
Mhm.
repeatedly, all right,
Anyway,
yeah, like that they repeatedly got their butts whooped by literally just a Padawan who, and it's not like Kanan who had been there for a while.
some of them
and
were.
it wasn't like Ezra who had been training for a little bit with Kanan. Like he was like fresh out of the freaking Jedi Academy
Okay.
youngling.
So the Grand Inquisitor got beat by Kanan, he beat him with 2 lightsabers while a ship was exploding, and he used the power of love and to beat him, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, pretty much. And then,
Kanan was also able to beat 2 Inquisitors while blind.
well,
while like
no.
newly blind.
Darth Maul killed the 3 of them on the big
There's
triangle.
so many Inquisitors. There's like 15.
When they go in Twilight of the Apprentice, the Rebels episode where they go to the big Sith temple,
Mhm.
Darth Maul kills 2 of them, and then one of them tries to helicopter away, but his lightsaber's broken.
Yeah, and he falls down.
and he falls down. So Darth Maul killed those guys. So
Yeah.
yeah, Darth Maul would be able to kill them. But like, and then Cal Kestis maybe kills one of them, and then the other one Darth Vader stabs. So
Cal Kestis definitely killed the
the big
big
yellow one.
Yeah.
I don't know. He cut off her hand and just like forced her back.
Flipped her off of a cliff.
Yeah, she could have survived.
She's dead. She does not show up in the game again. She's dead.
But
and he was able to repeatedly beat the the first sister?
Ninth Sister.
The main one.
Yeah, the main villain
Yeah.
of that game. But anyway. But Obi-Wan has been like sitting in a cave, not doing anything for 10 years, so he's like really out of shape.
Yeah, he would be out of practice.
And he hasn't used a lightsaber since he fought Anakin. So use Force workout. Have some Force
But
pre-workout.
also, most of Obi-Wan's, ability is like he's been training since he was like 4. Like it's not like this isn't.
I don't
stuff
think
he
he's gonna
would-
have a lot of action scenes.
Yeah.
No, he didn't. He was sitting in a hut on Dagobah, and then he died of old
No, he
age.
means like in the Clone Wars, he was sitting. He was sitting in a chair for like.
Yeah, and then in
100
Revenge of the
years.
Sith, he was just like doing frog hops all over.
Yeah, exactly.
That was so. Why did they do that?
I make Yoda cool.
That was so lame. Makes him lamer.
Makes him way cooler.
His thing was that he was all about the mind over the body because he was a short little green guy and he wasn't good at fighting. And then in Revenge of the Sith, he's like, no, he's just doing flips. He's 100 years old. He's doing flips.
Okay, the only time where Yoda ever says anything regarding like mind over weapon, whatever,
Mhm.
is that one time where he tells Luke not to bring his weapons into the dark side cave.
Oh, that was his whole purpose. Was that Luke's idea of a Jedi Knight was like big guy. You know, he was good. He was big and
Yeah.
strong and whatever. And Yoda was a little green old man who was like obviously not very good in the fight, but he was
But he
good
was
with the
super
Force.
good in a fight.
Eagles fucking
It's so dumb.
But he was
Anyway.
only good at fighting because he had the Force.
Eagle.
Think he would be doing all the flip without the Force? No.
You're right. You're right.
Anyway,
I feel
Then
like
he died of old age 20 years
Okay.
after that.
yeah, because he was 800 years old.
the spinny
Then he killed a tree with
lightsabers.
lightning.
In
and
the
everything.
words of Yoda, when 800 years of age you reach, look this good you will not. Okay, anyway.
How would you fight anyone with a spinny lightsaber? Because you could only hold it like here and here.
They can
Spinning
make
move
it
would
not
almost
spin.
never be helpful.
Because if you tried to like stab them, you would just stab yourself.
Okay, so-
and if you
Well,
tried
next,
to like,
that's a double-bladed lightsaber problem.
Also, they can
read
just-
the Darth Bane books.
also,
It
they can
explains
just-
double-bladed lightsaber.
They can undo the one at the back, and then they just have a
Or just
normal-
turn one off.
Yeah, that's what they
Yeah,
do
but
most of
still.
the time.
it's really dumb.
Anyway,
No, they
could
barely
just-
ever. Any of them barely.
They could just accidentally
barely
press
ever
the
use the spin
button.
thing.
and
The
it
spin move
starts, like,
doesn't help.
spinning.
The spin move was a bit they came up for the toy
for the
line,
toy, yeah.
and then they just had
Which
to,
was only on store shelves for
they
like
had to
4 months.
repeatedly work it into the show.
Because it was too expensive to make those toys.
Yeah.
Anyways, we also got a
What
trailer
else,
for Moon
Sam?
Knight.
What else do you have in Obi-Wan? Are you excited?
I still don't really care because this is a
Obi-Kenobi.
period of Star Wars
You're sick of
Very
that
boring.
again, much like just nothing happens during this time.
everything happens.
It's literally
during this
just bureaucracy reforming. Like it's just bureaucracy transitions. Like that's the main thing that's going on at the galaxy during this time.
time. I think this is going to be good.
I think
It's-
it'll be good.
It's not what
don't-
I would want them to do, because what I would want them to do, they would never make.
Mhm.
I love just a 4-hour character study of Obi-Wan,
Mhm.
where he's just like living out his
You
life.
want the Batman with Obi-Wan?
I want to just have a 4-hour thing where we just get deep into the mind of the character of a former Jedi Knight who served this order for like his entire life, and then all
Whose
his
best
family,
friend and student
and then his
murdered
brother
everyone.
betrayed him, murdered all his friends, and now he's a homeless man in a cave.
Wait, sorry.
Like that's
hear me out.
interesting
Hear
to
me
me.
out. What if?
What it is going to be is Obi-Wan's going to be like running around on a planet, like jumping on buildings and shooting things, which is fine
That's
because
cool.
the show would not get made if
That's
it
what
wasn't
the
that.
fans want to see him do cool stuff.
Fans want him to just like run around with a lightsaber
do
and,
cool things.
and slash robots again.
That's because they hear the name and they go, "I know that guy,"
He does this thing.
not knowing anything
Yeah.
at all about him other than the fact that he has a lightsaber.
I hope all the action scenes are him, like Episode 4 style, where he's just like, no. But
I
still
can't
the
wait
best
for
Will this thing, if it wants to be the best Obi-Wan thing, what it has to top is that one scene from Rebels where he fights Darth Maul,
Yeah.
and it won't be able to. So, also people who think Darth Maul is going to be in it,
You're
dumb.
stupid.
He isn't.
You're just dumb. Why on earth would Darth Maul have spent... Why wouldn't have Darth Maul attacked him like 30 years earlier?
There's
if
a
knew
reason
was
he
on
does it
Tatooine?
in Rebels.
Also,
so-
isn't Darth Maul like a crippled, sad little man? At
No,
this
right
point?
now he's running his criminal empire.
Doesn't he have his
He
robot legs
pretends
right
to
He
now?
be a
doesn't die
crippled old
until after
He's never a
the
crippled
Grand
old man. He
Inquisitor dies.
pretends to be a
No,
crippled old man.
I keep.
Yeah,
it's
he
like,
pretends to be all
No, I
crippled.
keep forgetting these movies take place, or these shows take place like in the middle
Max,
of the
come on, it's so easy to remember.
I can't wait-
We're constantly jumping around periods of time. How do you not get this?
I can't wait for people to find like that tiny little garbage character. It's like, oh, that's Fluffy Bugunkus from
So it's
episode 3.
Episode 3,
Humongous.
the last 15 minutes of the last episode of Clone Wars.
Uh-huh.
This show, Rebels, Rogue One,
Oh yeah.
episode 4.
So if you're looking for like what do I need to watch before?
Oh, and Bad Batch is also in there somewhere.
I just watched everything.
Basically, what we're learning from modern Star Wars content is what you need to watch
Is everything.
is just Clone Wars and Rebels, like baseline. You're just gonna need to watch it because literally all of the characters they're pulling in are from those.
And will show up in those.
and then
And
if
will
you
show
want,
up in the shows.
if you want a nostalgia feel, then you can watch the old movies.
Do you think Ahsoka will show up in this?
Maybe.
No.
I could see them doing that.
I think she
She's
might
been in
just because
everything
it's Dave
else.
Filoni and he likes to put her in things.
Yeah,
think
he's not as involved with this as he is in Mandalorian.
I
But
wonder
he
if
is
we'll see
involved.
her get her lightsabers in this.
That happens in a book.
Yeah, so did the last part of the last episode of Clone Wars, but they just did it in the show.
Yeah, he
anyways.
just didn't.
Yeah, didn't she get her white lightsabers?
She could get her, I could see her
And
getting
she
her
kills
lightsaber.
an Inquisitor and just uses, and then
What if she's the Jedi that they're hunting?
no, because the
Oh my
Jedi they're
God.
hunting is
No.
gonna die.
What if they just don't?
No,
kill
because
him?
the Empire thinks she's dead.
Oh.
Because remember, Darth Vader went to the planet.
Wait, so
and
this
she
takes
crashed,
place
he was
at the
like, "Oh,
same
she's
time as
dead."
Mandalorian, right?
No.
No. Mandalorian takes place Like 60
You
years
idiot!
after.
That's like 30 years after.
Can't tell.
This takes place
Okay, Max.
after
There's
Solo,
episode
before
3.
Rogue One, before
There's
Rebels.
the last episode of Clone Wars. There's the Bad Batch. There's
Mhm.
Obi-Wan. There's Rebels. There's the next 6 movies.
Uh-huh.
Well, there's the next 3 movies. There's Mandalorian. There's
Mhm.
the next 3 movies. There's blank
Mhm.
space there.
There's the
This is a
CBD
stupid
trilogy
timeline.
So this is after Solo, after Bad Batch, pre-Rebel. No, after
Before Rebels.
Fallen Order, pre-Rebels, pre-Rogue One.
This is really
Pre-original
stupid.
trilogy. Yeah.
Okay, so Ahsoka's still
And-
like.
Ahsoka
So like,
would be as 10 years older than she was at the end of Clone Wars.
Be around.
Yeah, she would be like, she's doing stuff.
so she'd be like
at
30.
this point, she's working for the rebellion.
Yeah,
Anyway.
she'd be Fulcrum. At that
Oh,
point.
Bail Organa's definitely going to show up in this too.
So she'd be Fulcrum then.
Yeah, she's Fulcrum right now.
But
But
wait, did she
oh,
become Fulcrum after?
That's what I was going to
No,
ask.
the other guy became Fulcrum after.
Yeah,
she
the other
stopped
guy
being
did
Fulcrum.
when they think she's dead, or when she does die for like a week.
Yeah.
And then she's brought back through a time portal. Anyway,
Time portal.
Sam, what fun characters do you think will show up?
I think.
Floopy
What fun
Jumpus.
cameos will we get?
Wouldn't it be so cool if we got to see what's his guy?
Max Rebo.
Yeah, Max Rebo again. We probably will.
The
But,
Jedi?
no, the bad guy in Rebels.
Oh,
guy.
Thrawn?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Thrawn.
I think they're saving him for Ahsoka. That's what they're building towards.
Yeah.
That's what they have a whole like story event plan. They're building up to Thrawn I think they're saving Thrawn.
Yeah, because Thrawn.
Also, I don't think he's ascended to like Imperial like rank yet at this point.
No, he would be.
Yeah, I
He
guess
might not
maybe
be like
he
an
has.
admiral, but he'd definitely be around.
I mean, he'd be around, but I don't think he'd.
Because
Be,
he was around.
It wouldn't be necessary for him to be in this. I think this is mostly going to be Vader, Inquisitors,
Yeah.
Obi-Wan. This is going to be the Jedi stuff that was missing from like Mandalorian.
Mhm.
Like this is mostly going to be focusing on like Jedi Sith stuff. I think again, Bail Organa is going to show up. Probably Mon Mothma will show up.
We'll see Kid.
When we do flashbacks, we're going to get a bunch of Clone Wars Jedi guys show up.
We'll see a kid version of Princess Leia.
Yeah, digitally DH to look like Carrie
No,
Fisher.
it'll just be some other girl, like with Luke.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, she'd be the same age. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, it'll be some other. What if they CGI Mark Hamill into that little boy?
Wait a minute,
Sam,
hold
what
on.
if they CGI Mark Hamill onto that
They're
little
not doing
boy?
it.
No, they're not gonna do
They
that.
cast another person to do it.
Hold on, wait a minute. My brain just broke. Princess Leia is in Rebels, remember?
Yeah,
And she's like basically a functioning adult.
she's
doing,
like 14 in that.
Yeah, but she's like fighting the Empire.
She's like doing diplomacy or whatever.
She like shoots at people.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Whatever.
Anyway,
All right.
we're getting to the point where we're exploring the least interesting parts of the Star Wars universe the most. Like the transition from 3 to 4 is one of the least interesting periods. Like
there's so many
the part immediately
stormtroopers.
afterward where we're seeing like the immediate aftermath. That's cool, but we covered that with Bad Batch. We saw that.
Sam, don't you want to see them walking and talking
We see the start
and
of
sitting
like
and talking?
the general rebellion stuff with Rebels. Sort of.
Kind of.
That's how they marketed it, anyways. We saw like the smuggler stuff with Solo. We've seen as much of this era as I think we need to.
But we will never stop. You know why we'll never leave this era?
Because it's the one with all the stuff you know.
Because it's got all the nostalgia
It's
packed
because
into
Darth
it.
Vader is most prevalent.
It's because
during
Darth
this era.
Vader is and stormtroopers and
And
Star Destroyers are all
The
doing this
way
time.
that you bring authenticity
Oh, that was
to
my other
any
question.
Star Wars thing is you show Darth Vader's face.
Yes.
That's how they brought authenticity to the sequels. You got you got the helmet of Darth Vader.
Yep.
That immediately invokes those feelings.
He
of
was
like,
in Rogue One.
This is the big deal. He was in Rogue One. He was
in Rebels.
Anytime he's on, it's because
He was in the finale of Clone Wars.
He's such an iconic image.
He is perhaps the closest thing. Like he is the physical embodiment of like Star Wars.
Mhm.
Like every like big
Other than
franchise,
Yoda.
there's like the thing you think of when there's
Yeah.
think of that.
Like
Marvel,
Yoda and
for the
Darth
longest
Vader.
time it was Iron Man.
It was Iron Man. Now it's probably Spider-Man.
Now it's Spider-Man. But
But,
like,
like Star Trek, you think of the Enterprise.
yeah, you think
Ninja
that's
Turtles, you think of Leonardo. You think of what's
the
this?
turtle.
Michelangelo.
Yeah.
Just think of turtle.
Yeah, but like there's always a
Star Wars.
Transformers
the
is
face-
Optimus Prime.
Yeah, the
like,
face of Star Wars is and
is
always will be
Darth Vader
Darth Vader.
because he
Dark
looks cool.
Vader.
He defined what it is to be a big
Also,
villain.
because he was the first character to show up in Star Wars. But
I love Darth Vader.
that was my question. Do you think they're gonna have James Earl Jones do the voice, or do you think it'll be Hayden Christensen doing the voice?
I think Hayden Christensen will be in the suit and be in the flashbacks. I think James Earl Jones will do the
Yeah,
even though he's like 90.
because they haven't said he's doing. I mean, he can talk still.
Exactly.
Just send it a voice
It's not
memo on
hard.
his
I
phone.
mean, I don't know how hard it is. I'm assuming it's not hard.
It doesn't sound
Doesn't seem
Not
that
like-
difficult.
well. Because my question is, or do you think they want to move? Because Darth Vader's never going to not show up in things. So do you think they want to start moving away from him
I think
and get maybe Hayden Christensen to do the voice, and they
I
just
think
put it through voice synthesizers?
eventually you have to move.
You
on.
have, because he's going to die at some point.
I mean, the next trilogy of movies, or not trilogy, but the next series of movies is coming up soon. Year after next.
Well,
we're
not-
going to start seeing stuff that takes place after 9.
Well, no, they're not. Because Rogue Squadron's not going to give.
Yeah.
Whatever Taika Waititi's thing is probably going to be unrelated.
Like we're
That's the
getting
only
to the
one I wanna
point
see.
where we're gonna have to either go before Vader, and we're seeing some of that with Acolyte. We're gonna have to go before
Yeah.
Vader, or we're going to have to go after Vader,
I think right now they're going to do a lot of before stuff.
Now,
Because
guys,
that's what they're selling.
because that's what they're doing.
That's
with,
what they wanna build. We're gonna
What
wrap
if-
up. We're gonna wrap
High
up
Republic.
our post Return of the Jedi, our Mandalorian storyline.
Mhm.
Well, however they want to do that, I think they should just do a
That'll
movie.
wrap up in Ahsoka.
no,
Or
they're
Ahsoka season 2. Or
no.
whatever.
Ahsoka's gonna set up Mando season 3 set up.
For the War of Mandalore.
Whatever their other spinoff is set up.
Again, the new war for Mandalore.
Probably what they should do is a theatrical movie to wrap it all up, but they'll probably just
Star
do.
Wars.
They'll probably just
The
do a
War
limited
for
series.
Mandalore
They'll do
or
Star
whatever.
Wars: The War for Mandalore, or whatever.
Yeah.
That's fine.
That'd be cool.
I don't care. But they'll do that. That'll end the Thrawn thing, and then Jon Favreau will probably take a step back. Dave Filoni will hightail it down to the High Republic era. They'll focus on that for a while because that's what they're pushing in the
And
publishing.
then when War 30, we'll see new movies.
And then 15 years from now, 15 years after episode 9, when all those cast members are a little bit older, Mark Hamill's dead, there's no one to question Disney anymore. Now we
George
can do
Lucas
our
is dead,
sequel.
too,
We can
probably.
do our sequel trilogy. How old is George? I hope George Lucas isn't
Old
dead
is
in 15 years, by the way. I mean, he probably will be.
Hope not.
he's not
I
that
don't-
old.
I would like them to bring him back in some capacity.
Yeah.
If they really wanted
He's
to.
77.
Ooh,
He can do it.
15 years.
92? I don't know.
Nine-
John Williams is like 96 and he's still working.
Yeah, but John Williams is like a skinny dude.
That's true.
Williams.
George
John
is-
Williams just goes.
Or George Lucas is.
I don't know. George
Not
isn't
a
as stressed
skinny
out
dude.
anymore. Maybe he'll live longer now that he's not as stressed. And he's got all those
Maybe.
billions of dollars.
He hasn't been stressed in forever.
Yeah, because
to be fair,
rich old fat people never die young or early.
No, but anyway, after everyone to oppose the Disney Corporation's dead, all the old fans are 65. They don't care anymore.
Yeah,
Now we do our sequel trilogy where we just do whatever we want.
we can fully restart.
We got all the actors scanned. We can bring them all back with CGI. They don't even need to sign on to anything. We'll just pay their families.
That's when we'll see
Bring
the
Luke back to time travel. Doesn't even matter.
and they will basically, all the source material from post episode
They'll
6
just
that
do
existed
that
before.
again.
They'll do that, but they'll just replace Luke with Rey.
Yeah.
That's literally the only change
You
that
think-
all
but-
of those movies bring to the
Oh my
universe.
god, I really hope they make a sequel trilogy like 15 years from now.
We'll
and they
have the
bring
Jedi
Palpatine back.
Temple either. I don't think it'll be in Boba Fett's palace anymore.
Yeah,
We'll have the Jedi Temple on Yavin 4.
and
it'll-
that's a thing we know.
Yeah, we'll have literally any of this stuff that happened post episode 6 in the old canon, they could just do and just switch Luke
Do you
with
think
Rey.
they'll still be trying to appeal to like original trilogy nostalgia at that point, or do you think they'll be pushing like prequel trilogy nostalgia?
Prequel nostalgia is going on now.
Yeah,
That's
Obi-Wan is the
Star Wars,
prequel nostalgia.
That's Obi-Wan, that's Bad Batch, that's all those things are prequel
yeah,
nostalgia.
prequel nostalgia stuff.
We're going to get, at that point, we'll be at sequel nostalgia.
For all the
And you know
people
how
who didn't
everyone like
those
defends
movies.
the prequels now? Everyone's like, oh, the
Yeah.
prequels are actually great. You guys are all idiots. We're going to see that with the sequel trilogy. That will happen.
You really think that's gonna happen?
Yeah, because all the kids these days that grew up with that Star Wars, that's their Star Wars.
because all the stupid
But
general
are they
audience
growing up
kids
with
will be
that?
like, "This
Yes.
is great."
Or are they growing up with
Do
Clone
you think
Wars and
there's
the
not little
Mandalorian?
boys and girls out there who think Rey's like the coolest Jedi ever?
I mean, there's probably 2.
There's a lot. There's a lot. Someone's buying those lightsabers.
Yeah, I don't know.
We'll see that generation.
But we
grow-
are. Those characters will come back. We will get another trilogy.
that
at some
generation
point. It's
will
just a
grow
matter
into
of
the
time.
movie-going audience. They'll get money,
Mm-hmm.
and then once they have money, Disney will go, "Hey, guys, like the new Star Wars, they got money.
Yep.
Make more of those." and we'll see more of that, come out.
All right.
Remember the lamest Jedi, Rey?
Well,
We're bringing her back.
She's not a lame character. Like the character of Rey is fine.
And Daisy Ridley is very charismatic.
And Daisy Ridley is fantastic in the role.
I really,
it's just the story that she's in is
very
really
boring.
I am
dumb.
really, really kind of sad for that cast.
They were a phenomenal.
They're
cast.
great cast, and they have gotten
The
no work
setup-
after it.
The
It's
setup
really
for Finn was incredible.
Yeah.
That concept is pure
former Stormtrooper
genius.
Jedi. Yeah,
They
didn't
went
do anything with it.
nowhere. Poe,
not well rounded, but it was Oscar Isaac.
he's your perfect sort of American boy next door, army man, fighting for the good of the galaxy type character. He's just a good, solid archetype that everyone knows and gets along with. And then you have Rey, the sort of up and coming, a fresh face, new to the galaxy, new to the world, exploring this new universe with her new powers and finding out who she is. They just didn't do
That was a
any of
really
it.
What was
dumb
episode
thing.
7 called?
Force Awakens.
Force Awakens? Yeah. I remember when...
Rey doesn't discover herself. She's perfect from the get-go and doesn't change.
They didn't even do like the fish out of water thing with her.
Yeah, exactly. Like they didn't tell
Like
a story
she
with
was
her.
just like on a new planet, and she was just like, all right.
They told a story that she was in, but the
Yeah.
story was not about her.
It was not about her. It was about trying to come up with a reason to bring Palpatine back in the third movie.
The
really
whole
dumb.
story of the sequels
There isn't
largely
one.
would be unaffected by Finn had zero effect on the outcome of these movies.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
like...
no.
Finn weren't there.
Things just
The
happened
movies would
around
have
them.
played out exactly the same.
Yeah, things just happen around the characters.
Like, Rise of Skywalker was a good movie, and it was cool because, like, you thought
No,
those
it wasn't.
Rise of Skywalker was fine. Oh no. It was
Force
fine.
Awakens was, like,
So
decent.
Force Awakens was good. Was good.
Force Awakens was fine because it was A New Hope again.
Anyways, yeah, that's
And
no,
then-
but I'm saying because you thought like all those characters were gonna like go somewhere. You thought Finn was like gonna become like
A
force
Jedi.
sensitive and
That's
be a
'cause
Jedi,
That's what our boy
and you thought
JJ
Rey was gonna do
does.
like cool stuff, and then they
should've
just
made
kind of
Finn become a Jedi. If they wanted to do the dyad thing, do that with Rey.
and just focus on that.
Focus on
Do
that.
something
Kylo,
int-
just leave him as a villain.
Kylo was fine.
He's a
Kylo was the
good
best
villain.
part
Now
because he had an arc. It was
The movies-
it was a super simple arc, but it was an arc.
and it was the way that they ended it was
Yeah.
beyond stupid.
Yeah, no, it was real dumb.
But the movies were about him.
yeah, they were really
He's
about
the
it.
only character who changed
Which
over
was
the course of the movie.
unintentional, but he was the only
He was
character who
unintentionally the
changed.
main character.
Yeah.
The new Star Wars trilogy was a scientific test into the ability of a trilogy of movies to tell a story by accident.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't work, but there were still some good parts. Kylo Ren was, I'll say it, he was a fantastic character,
Mm-hmm.
and his arc was great, and you could follow along with it, and every part of it
Yeah.
made sense. You see why he was torn in this way. Rey had absolutely zero, there was nothing challenging her.
yeah, she was
Like
just there.
Kylo Ren was struggling with this dichotomy between wanting to be
I think it
Darth
would've been-
Vader,
I think it would've,
wanting to carry on that legacy, but being pulled towards Luke
Mhm.
and being pulled
To the light.
fix the galaxy.
Would have been much better if they were gonna kill off one of them. I'd rather them kill off Rey or just keep
But
both of them alive.
unfortunately, they
Because
chose
Kylo Ren was like way
because of
cooler.
the marketing to focus on the least interesting but most brand-friendly character,
Yeah.
and that's really
British
what.
white woman with blue lightsaber.
Yeah, and like again, I love Rey as a character. I think she's a great character, but she's just not interesting.
She's a background character.
She's a background character in her own movies.
Like I wish they made Kylo Ren the focus
Now,
of the.
they did establish her struggle in Episode 9 with the Palpatine thing.
that was
should've-
tacked on.
That should have come up so much earlier.
That's
If they wanted that to be her main struggle, that needed to come up in Episode
that's your
7.
boy JJ for you, Sam.
Yeah, we should have first seen her struggle in Episode 7 when she duels Kylo Ren. We should have seen her snap and try to kill him.
You know how all the franchise
And they did in the book.
Mm.
That happens in the book.
Rey's arc.
Because the books are actually good for this series of movies, because they were able to retroactively sort of
Change things?
change a little bit. In the book, she hears Palpatine's voice
Mhm.
encouraging her to kill him, and she doesn't do it. But that introduces that pull that she has that they didn't explore whatsoever in the movies.
No, those movies were a problem because they did not write like a basic story outline before they
didn't know
made
what
them.
to do.
Rey's
They just
arc
didn't.
was basically just Jedi, nothing. Baptism of
The
death, kill him.
coolest Jedi ever. Yeah. Her arc was going from a pretty good Jedi to the best Jedi of all time, baby.
Well, you know how every franchise hires J.J. Abrams to come in at some point for really no reason at all? What they should do is just have him exclusively make prequels to things. Because that's what he's good at.
He's a great prequel guy.
Star Trek
Box works great
2009,
for prequels.
fine, origin story for the team, for that crew, for that universe, right?
Mm-hmm.
Force Awakens, it's a new hope, but it's a fine setup, right? Lost, good setup for a show, right?
But his biggest problem is
It's
always the
follow
payoff.
through.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't never know what he's doing. He's an idea man who doesn't finish the idea.
It's like modern TV
Almost
shows.
like another very famous director and story creator that we know, George Lucas.
Patrick.
He's great with coming up with setups, great with coming up with ideas for stuff. And always
That's
know how
what
to
they
end
should
it.
keep. Just have George. Just give him an office at Lucasfilm or whatever.
Let him throw you at some stuff.
And just every now and then,
have Dave
just
Filoni
have Dave
and
walk
Jon
in there and be
Favreau
like,
just
"Hey,
sort of-
George, what should we do for this?" And just have him go like, blah, 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 blah,
Be
blah,
like,
blah.
hey, wouldn't it be cool if the Jedi had a hamburger stand? And they'd be like, yeah, that would be cool.
And then they go,
That would be kind of interesting,
and-
George.
No,
J.J.
because
Abrams-
as much as people crap on George Lucas, he came up with all of this.
Yeah.
This was all him.
He is a phenomenal. He is probably the greatest idea guy
Yeah.
of our generation, or not even our generation, of 2 generations ago. But he just doesn't know how to express
Well, just the
those ideas.
density of the lore that he made in his own head.
like how
And
there's
then-
no bras in space.
Not because
Not
not because they were perverts.
Not because he wanted to look
No,
at,
no.
you know,
Very fishy
but
boobs.
Why would you?
Why would you think that?
That's a possibility.
No, but just keep him around.
Like again, and I always say this when people bad trash on George. The story of the prequels is a fantastic story.
Oh yeah.
If you heard someone explain to you what happens in the prequels, like they just told it to
Yeah.
you, it would sound
If
amazing.
you ask Dave Filoni what it is.
If you ask Dave Filoni, he'll make it sound like the greatest story ever told.
Yeah.
But if you watch it unfold on screen, you don't see the great parts
his
of it.
biggest
Because he's
mis-
sponsored by
He's so
Lucasfilm.
bad at showing the best parts of
Well,
things.
his biggest problem for those movies is that he shouldn't have directed them,
Yeah.
and he should have hired a co-writer.
His,
If he had just done that, those would have been fine.
his lens is too big. He doesn't know how to focus on the... He has a bunch of fantastic ideas. He doesn't know how to focus on
he
the best
hadn't directed a movie in 30 years.
Yeah.
And he had an entire team of yes men around him at
Mm-hmm.
all times. And so he had no one to weed him out. Because episodes 5 and 6, both of those, he didn't write the script for 5.
Yeah.
He co-wrote it for 6, and he didn't direct either of those movies.
Yeah.
So he had people around him who were like, no, we're gonna do it like this. And then he was like, oh, fine. But in the prequels, he was like, what if there's a big droid army in a big green field? And everyone was like, George, you're the smartest guy we've ever
You are
seen.
the best and coolest
And he
man
was like,
in the
what if
universe.
Funny Frogman? And he goes, I'm Jar Jar. And they went, George, that's hilarious.
What if there's a big, vaguely just a big frog guy and he lives underwater and he goes and they were like, oh my gosh, George, you're a freaking mad genius, George.
Okay, guys, you know the council, right? What if we do that with frog people and they're
The
all...
Jedi Council are
Hold
frogmen and they're all stupid.
What if they're all celibate monks who live in a big temple and just sit in chairs all the time?
What if
Like, again,
there's a
and
little
people
underwater
forget,
palace?
all of that all the stuff we know about the Jedi is all from the prequels.
Yeah.
The Jedi Temple. The
Other than that,
culture
they
of the
have
Jedi.
laser sword and are named Jedi.
Yeah, the culture
for
of the
good.
Jedi, the what they teach, what they believe, all
Yeah.
of that is from the prequels.
Which is
We see very little of that in the
Clone
movie.
Wars is good because it was
focuses on that.
the creative process that the prequel should have had.
Yeah,
It was George at a table with the writers and Dave Filoni and,
saying good
and
ideas.
everyone else, and and he would pitch an idea, and then they'd run it around, and
And
they'd
then
come up
they'd
with a story,
focus on the best
and then
parts.
they would make it, and then he would approve it, and
Yeah.
that's. Anyway, Sam, how long have we been talking about Star Wars?
we
Like
talked about the
45
Obi-Wan
minutes.
trailer for like an hour. Anyway, onto the Moon Knight trailer.
Anyways, the Galactic Jizz Whalers.
There was another Moon Knight teaser. You want to pull it up?
Yeah, let's pull up them.
Pull it up.
Sam, are you looking forward to Mr. Knight, the Moon Man?
Ooh.
I am so looking
I
forward.
love
to
Mr.
Man.
Moon
Why is it not
from
here? There it is.
Sing 2.
There he is.
So his suit looks really cool. I love
the way his suit comes out. Yeah,
Now, is this
They
gonna
didn't do that
be?
in the comics. In the comics, I
yeah.
think he
It's
had
just
a
it's
suit.
a costume.
But I like the sort of how it's like a
I
live.
didn't know this was like a BTS reel. Anyway, so they're
the trailer is like a BTS.
they're focusing
joke, I
on
think.
his two alternate identities, right?
Steven and the
So we
other
got
one.
normal guy, right?
Kevin
There's
Feige.
Kevin Feige. We got Moon Knight, and then we have Mr. Knight, spelled I think Nite. But so the bit is Moon Knight runs around beating people up like a psychopath, like
He's
Batman,
Batman.
right?
Moon Knight's Batman.
Yeah, pretty much. And then there's Mr. Knight, who is like
A mob boss.
his like
type
no, his
guy?
like proper like British man persona.
Yeah.
Because like in the comics, he'll like try to get into a crime scene or whatever, and they'll be like, "No, go away." And then he'll show up as like Mr. Knight, concerned citizen, and they'll be like, "Come on in, Mr. Knight, come help us out." But
And then there's his regular.
and then there's this
personality,
guy.
Steven or whatever.
Now, is this gonna be as good as Sing 2? I really hope so. That was a good movie.
Sam, out of the maybe 4 or 5 or however many Marvel series we're getting this year, where is this on your anticipation scale?
Probably number 2 behind Loki.
We're
Well,
not getting
in
that. This year.
anticipation
We're
number
not
one.
getting that this year.
My like how hyped I was for the series before they came out. This is by far number 1. This is the only one I actually wanted to see before it came out. Like Loki, Winter Soldier, WandaVision.
Mhm.
Those I didn't care about before they came out. But once they came out, then I started caring.
Uh-huh.
This one is the only one that I'm actually properly hyped. Like before it came, because Moon Knight is. I know we hate it when people. Oh, I love this character. He actually has been one of my favorite characters.
He has
For a long
maybe
time.
the best line in the history of comic
Yeah,
books.
when people always ask me like, "What's your favorite superhero?" For a long time, I would answer Moon Knight, partially because people know so little about him that I can say that, and they'll just be like, "Oh, yeah, Moon Knight,"
Moon Knight.
and then they'll just drop it. But no, I love the character of Moon
Yeah,
Knight. I
no.
love how he's just like no one knows whether or not he's actually a superhero or just
Yeah.
like deranged lunatic.
Yeah, the idea of just totally insane man superhero
Yeah.
is so funny. Again, like I said, he is the
He's
greatest.
like Deadpool,
he has the greatest-
but if no one actually knew if Deadpool had powers.
Well, if Deadpool wasn't self-aware and he was just a lunatic who beat people up,
Yeah.
just brutally. No, and like I said, he has the greatest line in all of comics, which is where are you trying? No, just look it up.
What was it?
It's the one where he's in Dracula's castle. I can't remember the exact line now. Yeah,
Yeah, he's just like
Where's
cursing out Dracula while he's like bleeding out.
Yeah, and then that and I love he wears an all white suit because he just wants people to see him walking up to him.
Yeah. No, and his most powerful ability is where he just intentionally lets every one of his enemies' attacks hit him just to try and scare them away. He's like a character straight out of The Tick that just like ended up in the Marvel universe.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm excited for Moon Knight. I know they're like, guys, this is gonna be so violent. It's not.
They're like, it's gonna be a dark character study. I'm
No,
like,
it isn't.
He's gonna.
It's gonna be a movie. It's gonna be a show.
Be Batman, but if Batman was crazy,
It's gonna be
Which
Batman,
is
but
what
he's
we wanted
running
to see.
around Egypt or whatever.
They think this will be Joker. Not.
It's not Joker. It's Indiana
Don't
Jones.
worry,
with
they'll
Batman.
still love it because it says Marvel on it.
This is a what if Indiana Jones was Batman movie?
Sam,
Yeah.
why did you put a baseball story on here?
What baseball?
Tucker, you wrote this part.
I didn't write that part.
Yes, you did.
Oh no, that's Friday night baseball games. All
Yeah, I
the
know.
games.
Why did you put that on here?
It's TV news.
Friday night
Okay.
baseball.
It's TV. It's on TV.
Oh well, let's do the first one, Sam.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
next thing.
Yeah. So another Walking Dead spinoff. I put 5 another's because this is the 5th one.
Yeah, I think it is. I think it's. let me look it
Is
up.
coming out called Isle of the Dead, and we'll follow the story of Nancy and Negan, who like in the world.
I know Negan's the baseball bat guy.
Yeah, he's the one who killed the guy that people like. People don't like him.
But I think that character came back to life.
Yeah, I don't know. But people in the world of I haven't seen The Walking Dead. I'm very unfamiliar with this, but I know that in the world of The Walking Dead, these two characters, Nancy and Negan, don't get along. They got some beef, presumably because Negan killed her friend. Yeah, they're gonna be going on a journey an adventure together. And
Are the Walking Dead
So right
writers
now
just in their?
there's
have you seen the tweet that announced
3,
this?
4, 5. So there's 6 TV series in the Walking Dead universe currently.
One of them being The Walking.
So there's the main one, which is ending its 11th season, which will be its final, which is being split into 4 different parts. There's Fear the Walking Dead, which is set like earlier in the apocalypse. That's still going. That's on its 8th season. There's Walking Dead World Beyond, which lasted 2 seasons and then it got canceled. There's Tales of the Walking Dead, which is an anthology show that they're going to start doing soon. There's the Untitled Daryl and Carol spin-off series, which they're going to be doing in next year too. And then there's this one. And then they're doing 3 theatrically released films where they're bringing back Rick Grimes.
I feel like the Walking Dead writers are just up in
Alright,
their
let me
little
show you
room, and they just go, guys, what if we make a new spin-off, but this time there's more zombies. It's at a slightly different time.
Follow us on Twitter at McDonMedia.
Ooh.
There it is. Here it is. This is the picture I wanted to show you.
Looks like a game.
Okay. Read that there. What is
Don't
that?
dead open inside.
Yeah.
No, that's from the first episode
Yeah,
of the show.
So that says "Don't dead open inside."
Sam, that's been a meme for like 15 years.
Yeah, that's dumb.
Sam, it's been a meme for 12 years.
Well, yeah, I'm not familiar with the Walking Dead franchise.
No, it's just...
Why didn't they just make them different colors so you put them in the right order? Make one side red and one side white.
That's from the first episode of the show. He goes to... There's like a door in the... Because the thing... You know how he wakes up in a hospital and there's the zombie
I
pop?
haven't seen the show.
But you know the setup, right?
No, I haven't seen any of the show.
Okay,
I'm totally unfamiliar with
The setup of the
franchise.
show is that there's a cop who gets like injured and then he goes into a coma
Uh-huh.
and he wakes up and the zombie apocalypse happens.
Right.
Has happened, right?
Mhm.
But in the first episode, he wakes up in the hospital and he like walks around and there's a big door that says "Don't open, dead inside," and he's like, "What?" And the meme was that it's been written like that, and everyone's like, "Don't
dead open.
don't dead open inside." Yeah, that's been the meme forever.
All right.
Anyway, Sam, let's talk about baseball, a sport none of us watch.
No, so I don't really care about baseball. I just wanted to say, Apple
TV Plus.
is now
They're getting into live sports.
scooping up exclusive rights to live sports.
We're seeing streaming stuff. Right? Prime Video's got Thursday Night Football.
Yeah, this was more just to talk about the fact that this happened and is weird.
Moving out of cable. We're moving out of cable. Now,
Yeah.
baseball, if you don't know, for our Australian viewers out there, American baseball, they play literally every single team plays a game every day.
Mhm.
So it's impossible to follow.
Yeah.
So they play seasons of like 167 games
Yeah.
plus playoffs. So it's not a
People
thing you
only
follow.
follow the World Series. No one cares about the regular
Yeah,
season.
people follow, and then the majority of baseball viewers are people who are going to like a ball game just for fun.
Yeah.
Like football.
Baseball exists because it's the most accessible sport
Yeah.
for the average American person. Like,
Yeah.
not everyone can afford to go see a basketball game. Not everyone can afford to go see a football game.
No one can afford to see
Almost
a baseball game.
anyone can afford to go see a baseball game.
Yeah.
It's still expensive, but compared to the other
Also,
main sports,
it's
by far
much
the
more
cheapest.
simple. Go
Yeah.
walk up to triangle, hit ball go far, you run around triangle,
Run
you win.
until they throw the ball at you.
Football, it's like, okay,
Football, there's like a million
this guy's
rules,
going to line up on this line of
half of them
scrimmage. They're going
change
to hand
every
off the ball.
season.
That guy's going to run around the defensive line. He's going to go past that yellow line, which is 10 yards from the line of scrimmage. If he doesn't get
Football
there,
has
he's
gotten
going
to
to
the point that
distance.
without the slow-mo filming at 8K from every angle, we wouldn't be able to properly call the game,
Yeah.
which is insane. Baseball, it's like, if it's out...
Well, that's because before they were just like, that looked like holding to me, that's holding. That's the
Yeah.
flag.
Baseball is like, did you hit the ball? No, did you swing at it? That's a strike. you did hit the ball? Oh, but it didn't go I'm sorry, that's a foul.
Anyway, but yeah, Apple TV, they're getting into streaming live sports.
Yeah, it's just a little weird. Prime Video developing a live-action TV adaptation of God of War. Now, we don't know for sure if this is that. We just know that there was a pitch.
There was a talks of
Yeah.
a deal.
I could see this working.
Yeah.
It's a very cinematic game. It
I
would be
think-
super expensive, but Amazon could do
Yeah,
it.
if they're gonna spend whatever
any-
$600 million
If
on
any
Lord of the Rings,
entertainment company is willing to spend
Hey.
egregious amounts of money on stupid
Yeah.
stuff, it's Amazon.
if they do, they're gonna. If they do this, they're gonna do the most recent.
Yeah, that's
one.
the easiest one to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's so easy to understand. Oh, man has son.
This is
protect
also
son.
that one's also the much cheaper option. It's a more basic setup.
more
There's less
accessible. to
mi-
most
there's
people.
less like
There's
understanding.
only one game so far
Yeah.
in that continuity.
No, but because the general premise of PS4 God of War is just like boy takes son up mountain, right? Like that's easy for the audience to understand,
Yeah.
and it
Go up
requires less
mountain.
knowledge of whatever mythology they're adapting at that point. Are all of our mics being disconnected?
Max is
Uh-oh. Whoa.
Plugged in.
Max, you
the second time
idiot.
this has happened now.
It's not my fault, man.
Alright,
Yes, it
Tucker, you
is.
talk.
It's
Okay.
very much your fault.
Anyway.
The old lore of God of
Anyway,
War
Because
was
that's so many
like
technical issues
Yeah,
so far.
yeah.
the old lore of God of War was like Kratos gets his brother killed, so he becomes a god killer because all the Spartans
But-
in Olympia.
God of
Like,
War
the new
4
one is
about
just like,
actual,
boy and
character
dad go to
depth
mountain.
and like growth, and it's got a storyline.
It's a smaller scale story.
Because the
Even though
original
he's
God of
fighting
War
gods
was
and
an
stuff, it's
excuse for
smaller
you to
story.
swing around big flaming blades
Like,
and
oh,
hit
my
a bunch of
wife
guys.
and family's dead. I kill everyone now.
Yeah.
No,
And
the
this
old
one,
games
he's
were
like, I
deeper
gotta-
than that,
it's
though.
about father.
Not really.
Yeah, they were.
Max,
Not
the
really.
original
Lore-based.
ones were not about story.
No, they weren't. But the story.
The story
is
was
good.
Ares tricked me into killing my family. Now I'm mad. I want to kill everyone else.
Yeah, and it was cool.
That's
And then he
that's pretty
discovered that
easy,
Zeus
simple.
is his father.
That's a
and stuff.
really dumb idea for a TV
And then he
show.
doesn't want to kill anymore because of all the
No,
stuff.
but
that
it'll
happened.
be 8 episodes. They'll do a season 2 of Ragnarok, and then whenever they
Cool,
reboot
alrighty.
it, they'll do it.
Ooby-dooby.
Muppets thing. You
Doo-doo.
introduce the
Oh,
Muppet thing.
Sam. It's my favorite time of the year when they
Muppet
announce a new
announcement time.
Muppet series
I'm
that
gonna
has
go
one
ahead and
season and
leave.
then gets canceled. This time we're doing the Muppets Mayhem. All right, this is gonna focus on the Electric Mayhem Band, Dr. Teeth and the Electric Mayhem Band.
Uh-huh.
Some of them are canonically alcoholics, but that's not important.
Right.
It's received a series order at Disney Plus. We're at least getting a whole season. Okay, it's gonna focus on the band trying to record their first studio album and all of the issues and wacky Muppets mayhem that comes into play. And their manager is gonna be played by Lily Singh.
Disney does not and will never understand the target audience for them.
Now, if they're going to do a Muppets thing, this totally makes sense. The most popular stuff, like recently, has been Electric Mayhem stuff. The most viewed video on the Muppets YouTube channel is a Bohemian Rhapsody video with them. Animals doing Allstate commercials or whatever. They're very popular. Out of the current Muppet stuff, the Electric Mayhem stuff has been the consistently well performing. Because people love animal. Animal's like their favorite thing. So this makes sense. Sounds pretty good setup. I'm sure we'll have other Muppets show up throughout the thing.
Kermit's got to show up.
Kermit's got to show up. We're gonna
The
have
big one.
We'll probably have an episode where Miss Piggy's like, "You're getting too famous. I want to be more famous."
Elmo will show up too.
Elmo will show up from Sesame Street. He'll start cursing. He'll become an alcoholic too, like the other characters.
No,
No.
Disney does not and will never understand who the Muppets are for.
The Muppets were for
they look
family
like they're-
audiences in 1976.
They look like they're for kids, but all the writing is for adults. But they don't know that, so they just don't do it.
Well, the original Muppets balanced. If you watch the original Muppet Show, the balance is between the more broad kind of adult-leaning humor is in a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff, and then the actual variety show acts were very goofy and for kids, right? And that's how they struck that balance. Now, because you can't make a variety show in 2022, it's hard to strike that. Like in the Muppets 2016, they leaned way too heavily into the adult stuff, and the characterization was off. That just popped out of there. Now, I think the 2011 Muppets movie, I think that balanced that well. That's the best Muppets thing we've had in a long time. If I do hope this does well. I want one Muppets thing to. I thought Muppets Haunted Mansion was a solid step forward.
Mm-hmm.
That was a really solid Muppets thing, which we haven't gotten in a while. Muppets Now was really bad. It was not what it should have been. And then they canceled Muppets. They canceled that. Well, that wasn't very good either. But they canceled. They were going to do a show called Muppets Live Another Day, which was like a mystery set in New York in the 80s with them.
That makes perfect
It was a
sense.
follow up to Muppets Take Manhattan.
What happened to that one
That got
weird,
canceled.
raunchy adult
Oh,
mystery movie?
Happy
with...
Time Murders, the weird
Yeah.
Melissa McCarthy thing.
What happened to
It bombed
that?
really hard, and everyone forgot it.
vaguely remember a prostitute puppet
Yeah,
doing commercials for that on TikTok. Pretty sure that happened.
Sam, it's gone. It never happened. That was a the Jim Henson Company did that for some reason. No one really knows why.
Anyway.
More Muppet
Next topic. First look of photos.
Oh,
we don't really need to talk about that. We already talked about it.
Yeah, most of the photos show up in
And
the
everything from the photos was in the HBO Max officially picks up The Penguin working title for a limited series starring Colin Farrell and executive produced by I assume Colin Farrell,
Mm-hmm.
Matt Reeves and Dylan Clark, and Lauren LaFranc. This is the Penguin from the Batman movie,
Yes.
which we will get to.
And they said this will be a
later.
direct follow-up to the movie. So where that movie ends, is pick up.
Yeah, so why don't we talk about this after the Batman?
Yeah, we'll talk about our ideas.
Because there's a lot of... I know what they're going to do,
Yeah.
but we can't talk about it without spoiling it, so we'll talk about that
Yeah.
after.
So, Sam, for now, let's talk about how they revealed the look of She-Hulk through soda cans.
Did?
Yep, it got leaked. They're doing like a tie-in with Dr. Pepper or something.
All right,
the look of She-Hulk.
let's pull that up. She-Hulk apparently was on a Dr. Pepper can.
Yep, in a factory.
The Hulk.
Don't look up Dr. Pepper, just look up leak. It wasn't on an actual, it was a soda
Whatever.
can. Does our audience even know what Dr. Pepper is?
They might.
Yeah, there you go. There she is.
So that is a picture of
a green
regular
woman.
Oh
who has been painted green,
They spray painted
which
her
is
green.
basically exactly what She-Hulk looks
No,
like. So
they did not spray paint her. That's CGI. They CGI'd her green.
Whatever, you get the
Because they're
joke.
also going to CGI
The joke
her
is
like
that
bigger.
she looks like she's been painted green.
Yeah.
So the Jolly Green Giant's wife is starring in a movie show about
This is a show,
She-Hulk.
Sam.
the movie show. All the Disney Plus shows are movie shows.
No, this one's a 10-episode, half-hour comedy series.
Yeah, it's a movie show.
This one's like a workplace comedy with She-Hulk.
Anyway, so this is going to be The Office, but if they were lawyers and if one of
And
them was
Matt
green.
Murdock's going to be in it.
Matt Murdock is going to be in it. Because the freaking producers were like, what other Marvel lawyer characters will
could show up?
There's only one other Marvel lawyer character, okay?
And if there's another one, it doesn't matter who they are because it's like Gerald from page 207.
That's John Jempeth.
That's
He's
John
the best-
Pimpino. He
Alright,
was in
yeah.
one issue of Spider-Man
There's not really
in
a whole lot to talk about this
1973.
He was
She-Hulk.
in one comic
People only
page.
like She-Hulk for one reason, and it's not the reason that the show is going to be about.
Yes.
Anyway, Pete Davidson will star in a series where he plays a fictional version of himself.
Sounds like another movie
This,
that-
This is
Yeah, I know.
going to be an NBC sitcom.
is this different than the movie where he did this exact same thing already?
They said it's basically going to be Curb Your Enthusiasm with Pete Davidson.
That could be funny.
Didn't he make like two movies that are already
One
basically
movie. Yeah,
that?
he did The King of Staten Island,
Which
which was
was-
literally this.
Well, it was
Like him growing up.
that was that was based on him growing up because in that movie his dad, the character's dad, dies in a fire, and his dad died in 9/11. That's where that was about.
Yep. Alrighty.
Way to bring the mood
Cool.
down. That's the second time 9/11's been
Second time
brought
9/11
up.
has been,
Oh,
it's
no.
been a
Almost
month
one
today.
episode. Can we do 3? Let's find out.
All right.
Please don't.
On to movie news.
Yes.
We have Judd. We have trailers first. We have Judd Apatow's The Bubble.
Apatow.
Sure. The
Apatow.
Bubble.
So this was a Netflix film. This
Yeah.
premise. It's a comedy. It's got like Karen Gillan and stuff in it.
Mhm.
It's about a group of like actors who are filming like an action movie. And it's like a fake action
Yeah,
movie,
yeah,
or whatever. And then COVID happens, and then they have to film it in a bubble, and they're like doing all like the jobs that the crew would do or whatever.
that could be funny.
And it's
I could
comedic
see that being a
ensues.
funny little movie.
Yeah, it's Judd Apatow doing it, so
All
if
right.
you've seen a Judd Apatow movie, you've seen most Judd Apatow movies.
Alrighty. DC League of Super Pets Batman teaser reveals that Keanu Reeves will voice Batman.
Yes, this was kind of funny, but
I don't think there's much to talk about
I don't
here.
think that I don't really like the Batman design, but
I
Keanu
don't like
Reeves is
any
actually
of the character designs.
no. Okay, I was watching the trailer for this, and they have like John Krasinski doing Superman. They have Keanu Reeves doing Batman. They have what's his face doing Lex Luthor. They have like an actual, like pretty solid like
Pretty startup cast.
Justice League voice cast, and I'm just like, okay, if they're screwing up the live action Justice League stuff, what if we just got a fairly like large budgeted 3D animated Justice League movie?
Because the character designs would be terrible, apparently.
I mean, because like they're all in this, so they obviously don't have a problem with them being in animation.
Yeah, but okay, number one, they're only in this for like a few minutes because most of the movie they're captured, and
But, like-
the pets
and they
are the main
all look
characters.
terrible.
And their designs
No,
are just...
Superman looks fine.
Superman is the only one that looks fine.
Batman looks
Batman
awful.
looks
Batman
weird,
looks
but you just
absolutely
fix it.
horrible.
Batman's like,
Wonder Woman looks super like disproportional.
Have they announced?
Like she has humongous legs and like a tiny waist. And
But,
then
like,
Batman has
I'm
just
not
like
saying it has to
Batman's
be-
like 90% neck.
I'm not saying it has
Yeah,
to be in
he's-
this animation style. I'm just saying like What if we just got like a really solid
Like a star-studded-
celebrity voice cast,
Yeah,
and then we just did like an animated Justice League movie that played in theaters?
they would never go all into that basket.
No, they wouldn't. But it would be because like they're rebooting the Justice League or whatever.
That's
with
like
the Flash.
taking a 3D game franchise and making it 2D, and then like that's
Yeah.
just they're not gonna fully invest into that.
We're just gonna have to be stuck with DC
Crypto,
Super Pets
Superdog,
and
Yep.
Teen Titans Go to the Movies.
the best movies ever.
But
made.
anyway, when I was Keanu Reeves Batman, he actually is a pretty good Batman. Like from the trailer,
Mhm.
should have him voice him in other stuff.
I'm surprised it wasn't Will Arnett. He's been sort of
He's Lego Batman.
well he's Lego Batman.
You don't want to mix him
but
up.
He's also been a couple of, but this is another comedy movie.
I love Will Arnett.
Yeah.
I figure they'd keep with the.
But then they
comedy
have
Batman
Kevin Hart
casting,
as
but
Bat Hound.
anyway.
BoJack Horseman.
Apple, we got some Apple originals.
Yeah, they did a highlight reel where they
a
did.
really big Apple event conference thing.
Yeah,
They released they started it off with these announcements. We got Spirited, which is a Scrooged like knockoff with can't remember if it's
like the movie, like the Bill Murray movie.
yeah, it's like the Bill
Scrooged.
Murray movie, but there's a different celebrity as the one who gets in this one. Spirited.
Is it supposed to be like Christmas?
Yeah, no, it's a Christmas Carol, but it's just with another celebrity actor, and it's like the same setup where he's like a executive CEO guy.
David's.
No, I'm pretty sure. Oh shoot, what's his? Is it Ryan Reynolds? It's like another
Ryan
big name.
What are you talking about?
This movie.
Oh, this. Oh, let me look it up.
Yeah, it's another big name actor.
Is it Nick
Spirited,
Cage?
Apple Plus.
Yeah, while Tucker looks up that, actually no, let's look up this first because I want to talk about the next one for a minute too.
Luck by some ex-Pixar people.
Yeah.
We'll just talk about it, and I'll just tell you.
So they announced an animated movie called Luck about this girl who finds a lucky penny and then loses it, and then a talking cat helps her
Oh, there's
find
a
it
big
again.
dragon
In what?
in this movie.
Which one?
Luck.
Okay, see, now we're talking about two movies. This is why I said to finish the other
Hang
one.
on. Oh, I found it.
Okay.
Spirited. It's Ryan Reynolds, Will Ferrell, and Octavia Spencer.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
so
a good cast.
it's Scrooged, but
Is
instead
it
of
I think it's a musical.
yeah, so it's
Sounds
Scrooged,
musical?
but instead of Bill Murray, it's,
Yeah, it's-
Ryan Reynolds.
It's a musical. It's a
it's-
modern musical rendition of A Christmas Carol.
yeah,
That sounds like dumb, but probably fun.
yeah. Anyway, so Luck is by some people who worked on Up and Cars. I
Yeah,
believe.
this is from Skydance Animation, who was their head is John Lasseter, who was
He's
the
one
head
of
of
the founders of
Pixar. Who was the
Pixar.
founder of Pixar, was the head of it for like 30 years, and then he got fired because he inappropriately groped some women,
Mhm,
maybe.
yeah, as happens.
But now he's working at Skydance Animation.
So yeah,
What a step up! Simon Pegg's in this.
what's funny about this is he and Steve Jobs are the founders of Pixar.
Right. Well, him and there's three. No, there's a third guy.
No one knows the
I
third
forget
guy.
the
He doesn't
third
matter. But yeah, so I just thought that was kind of funny that it's sort of like
What? That Steve
weirdly,
Jobs is
weirdly
dead.
come full circle.
Oh yeah, you're right, because this is an Apple thing.
Yeah, it's weirdly
That is
come
kinda
full
funny.
circle, and the movie looks.
I mean, Steve
the
Jobs doesn't work at Apple
The
anymore.
animation doesn't look. It looks like Illumination.
Well,
in terms of its,
I'm
like,
sure it was not
Quality.
a
It
very
doesn't
high
look
budget.
bad, but it looks very flat, very like bog standard.
Yeah.
And the plot doesn't seem anything too special. It's a talking cat helps a girl find a magic pen. That's not that complex. But yeah, it's that's coming out. I just thought it was kind of funny to see that come all around.
Yep.
We got Argyle, which is a spy thriller with Henry Cavill. That could
That's
be
oh.
interesting.
Dang. So this is Matthew Vaughn doing this, who did Kingsman
Yeah, I believe
and
so.
X-Men First Class.
Yeah.
So this cast is really good, though. It's got Henry Cavill, Sam Rockwell, Bryce Dallas Howard, Bryan Cranston, Catherine O'Hara, John Cena, Samuel L. Jackson,
Yeah, so a
Ariana
fantastic
DeBose, Rob
cast.
Delaney, and Dua Lipa's in it.
Crazy. I can't wait to see.
Dua Lipa, Sam.
I can't wait to see Henry Cavill
From
punch
TikTok.
John Cena in the face. That'll be so
Oh,
fun.
that'll be fun.
She does other things on TikTok.
He mostly does. Yeah, and then there was a couple others in a flash reel.
Let's
I
remember to
didn't
read
want to
them.
bother.
We
to...
got Raymond and Ray with Ethan Hawke and
Woo!
our boy Ewan
That's what I'm really
McGregor.
waiting for.
yeah,
The
woo.
Greatest Beer Run Ever with Zac Efron. Killers of Flower Moon, which is Martin Scorsese's new film with
Yeah,
Leonardo
now they got
DiCaprio.
Shyamalan and Scorsese.
Scorsese did a Netflix too.
Huh?
Yeah. So yeah, really good showing from Apple. I do like how
Insanely high quality.
I like how the ripping away of IP has forced Netflix and Apple TV Plus to make original films.
It's kind of
That's
funny
the
in that
only way
yeah.
original films get
Except
made
for
is when you
is when
literally
studios are forced to do it.
not allowed to make other
Other
things.
things.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. All right, we got another trailer for The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent.
We just
Nick
skip
Cage
that.
We
is
know,
Nick
we get the
Cage.
thing.
Are you gonna
Nick
see
Cage
it?
is Nick Cage. We'll probably see it. It looks funny. All right. Florence Pugh is in talks to star as Princess.
Dude.
That name in Dune Part
Irulan
2.
Carino.
Yeah, that in Dune Part 2. So,
Wow.
she might
So
be
in the
Dune
book,
Part 2,
that
I
character
guess.
is the eldest daughter of the Emperor, of like their galaxy, or whatever. He's referenced in
the
Dune.
one who's the main character from in the past.
No, the evil Emperor who manipulated the whole situation.
Yeah,
The
slime
big
guy.
man.
No, not the slime guy.
That's
You
a
know
different
the
house.
Worm God.
The guy who made the
The guy that wasn't in the movie.
the guy who
Yeah,
he's
Worm God.
He's not in it. No, he's the one who makes the Harkonnen leave
Yes,
and have
the Worm God.
That's not the worm guy.
No, not the Worm Guy. There's two Worm Guys. You're aware of this, right? Look up the Emperor from Dune. You're in for a big shock here, boy. You're in for some wacky hijinks right now.
From Dune is just a guy.
No, he's a big worm dude.
No, he like a guy.
He ascends to like godhood and becomes a big worm guy.
Sam, he just looks like a man.
Yeah, that's just a guy.
No, that's not him like in the books. That's like him before he
No,
became
that's
a worm
Oh,
guy.
this guy?
That's a rendition of him, but
That's
yeah.
a fan art.
Yeah, that's a fan art, but that's
Oh,
One
he
of the-
becomes a big worm later, but he's
Yeah.
not a big worm yet.
no, but he ascends to godhood and he like rules all of
yeah,
space
yeah,
and time.
no, God Emperor
Oh,
of Dune, he becomes
this-
a big worm guy.
There he is.
That's a
the
different guy.
one.
That's a different
That's
guy.
That's the
actual
same
worm.
emperor. It's the same guy.
But that's
That's-
later.
that's
He's
an
not a
actual
big worm man
The
yet.
point is, there's a big worm guy
But
and
anyway,
he rules all of space.
So Florence Pugh is going to play the princess. She's also a romantic interest of Paul, Timothée Chalamet's character.
not gonna get with Zendaya.
And the character is only at like the very end of Dune, the first book,
yeah,
but then she has a bigger role in like the next one.
let's follow.
So if they do a third one, she'll probably have a bigger role in that.
Yeah.
one.
All right. Along with Pugh, Timothée Chalamet, Rebecca Ferguson, Zendaya, and Josh Brolin all have been signed to return.
Yep, because they're casting now. They're gonna doing pre-production in the summer, and then they're gonna start shooting.
Which means they've probably been
Oh.
contracted to do several more Dune movies after this as well.
Yeah.
20th Century Studios is developing a new Planet of the Apes and another
Hero,
Perro Mystery,
which is the murder on the
Orient
the insert
Express
place.
slash Death
Nile.
Nile guy.
Yeah.
I
Cool.
care so
The
little about
script- so
Planet
the
of the
script
Apes.
for
I don't
West
think
Bo-
I could possibly care about a franchise less than I care about Planet of the Apes.
the
But
script for
Sam,
West
that monkey
Balls-
is dangerous.
for West
For
Balls,
what?
Planet
West
of the Apes.
Balls?
That's what
The
his
movie's
name
called West Balls.
is. It?
You
West
just said the script for
Balls!
West Balls.
I said-
West Balls.
That's the sequel to West Side Story. Anyway, no.
That's West.
No,
The
so-
sequel to
That's
West
West
Side
I
Balls.
think that might be
What?
West Bells. I think that's his last name.
West Balls.
Well, the guy who was contracted to write it,
West Balls.
his
What-
his
which
script
ones
is
are
gonna
the-
be
are those
done
the
soon. They're
East-
gonna film in late summer, early fall.
Are those the East
That's
Balls?
gonna, if
No,
they
those
do
are
make
the
that, it'll probably
West
go direct to
Balls.
HBO Max. And then
Yeah.
there is a script for a new Panel Mystery that would be a shift in genre and tone that is set in post-war Venice.
Is it on,
neither one of
wow. So
That
exactly,
movie has
this
not been
time?
greenlit.
I hope it's
Death
not.
on the Nile is not doing like great, but it's not doing terrible.
Why would you make
If it
a,
does well on Disney Plus or whatever, they'll make the third one.
Why would you make a mystery movie that's not a?
I mean, I'm
Like,
sure
this would
it'll
just be a war movie.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be a mystery, but I don't think it'll be like because Murder on the Orient Express and Death on the Nile were like characters sitting in a room just like seeing talking about who they think the murderer is.
Yeah.
I think they're talking about it to be like more of a thriller.
Action.
or like
thriller,
he's got to
war
like
movie.
find the
It
killer.
would be a war movie with a mystery.
in time. Yeah, and then
Um,
the tone would obviously have to be like probably
darker and more war-y. Yeah.
Is it written by
and
West
then-
Balls?
Yeah, I don't care about.
It's written by
Planet of the Apes
West
at
Balls.
all.
Speedweed.
All right. I think that's
those
pretty
those are
much
the Southeast
it for
Balls.
those.
These are the West Balls.
Sam, did you just skip all of our news?
No, I said it for those two things.
Oh,
Alessandro
Nivola.
Nivola joins Kraven the Hunter as the villain.
Sam
Great.
Craven. Remember Craven, the Hunter
I
of the movie?
remember Kraven,
They're gonna start filming soon.
but they are. That's all right. Good.
Comes
good
out
for-
in January.
You guys
for that.
put some
Will
of the
Smith will
lamest
produce
news
and
on here.
Star in a sequel to I Am Legend, alongside Michael B. Jordan.
So do you remember
Um,
I Am Legend, that movie from like 15 years ago?
Yeah, it's a little late, guy. So you're kind of.
Well, and doesn't he explode at the end?
Pretty sure, yeah, he dies.
And he doesn't have any kids because everyone's dead. So I don't. Oh, you know how they have that like famous
Portal.
alternate ending? That movie has a really famous alternate ending because people didn't like it, and then apparently the other ending's better. I think it's like because the movie's about like he's killing like weird vampires.
Yeah,
or
I know
whatever.
he's like the last man alive or whatever, and he's got a.
And I think. Oh, okay. And then the original ending of the movie that was like released in theaters is that like he gets the cure and he blows himself up, but he gets the cure away.
Mm-hmm.
And then and people didn't like it. And then in the original ending, he realizes that like the vampire guys weren't actually bad and they were just trying to like live out because they're like the dominant species now. And he's like, oh, I've just been killing them. I'm just gonna leave them alone because this is their world now.
Yeah.
Thing. And then people didn't like that. My guess is they'll just continue off that because otherwise Will Smith can't be in it.
Cool. All right. The Batman. PD.
You skipped one.
A new Alien movie is in development with Freddy Alvarez.
That should be Fede Alvarez.
Yeah. Directing.
More like
and
Friday
Ridley Scott
Balls.
Producing. It will release exclusively on Hulu. Okay, good. We don't have to talk about it. All right. The Batman GCPD series is no longer.
Oh, this should have been in TV news.
With a new series focusing on Arkham Asylum replacing it. So the Joker is getting a spin-off show based off of his 3-second
He
cameo
already
at the
got a
very end.
movie.
That's a spoiler, you idiot.
It's not a spoiler. It doesn't affect the movie at all.
Sam,
Spoiler is only a
Guys-
spoiler if whatever I say is a direct result of events
Sam,
of
do
the
you want
movie.
to see
Guys,
about
Batman
the
dies.
origins of a building?
Well, actually, yeah. Because of the way that they changed the Wayne family. Actually,
We'll just talk about follow-ups when we talk about the
Yeah, we'll talk
actual-
about that when we talk about that. The first trailer for the new Puss in Boots movie will release on March 15th.
Sam, Puss in Boots.
yeah.
It's finally getting a sequel after like
Great.
11 years.
I remember
Hey,
that movie.
what matters here is that the Shrek franchise
Lives on.
is officially back, baby.
Tucker, this
Let's
is why
go.
you have no friends.
It's been dormant for 11 years. There's been nothing. We had like a cartoon show about Puss in Boots or whatever. Nah, Shrek franchise is back. Next step after this, Shrek is back. Fully.
Is the show canon?
I don't think so. But what they got to do, if Puss in Boots The Last Wish makes money, we got to do Shrek 5. Guys,
No, we don't.
we all know it.
Okay, can we
It's
move on to
inevitable.
the next news?
Mike Myers is still alive. There's still time.
Michael Myers? What?
Michael
we got to
Myers.
do Shrek 5.
All right. Cool.
Next
Puss in Boots
news.
news. Awesome. Laura,
Lana.
Business.
Lana Condor, and Will Forte have joined Coyote versus Acme.
The movie with
Okay,
John
why-
That's
Cena.
the
Why is
law-
this on here?
It's the lawsuit movie.
spin-off Looney Tunes movie.
Yeah, in theaters.
I love.
Come
It's
into
gonna be an
theaters.
hour and a half of them just going.
All right. In business news, we have a big Warner Brothers.
We
date
got the Warner
change.
Bros. Release date
So, like,
shuffle, March 2022, baby. Let's go.
Literally every movie they have has
Okay.
gotten pushed back.
So, Sam, want me to read to you all of the films that have
Yeah,
been
we'll
delayed?
just flash. reel
Okay,
this.
so the DC League of Super Pets, the animated film, was supposed to come out on May 20th. Now it's going to come out on July 29th, which was when Black Adam was supposed to come out.
Mhm.
Black Adam is not going to come out on July 29th. Now it's going to come out on October 21st. The Flash movie, which was supposed to come out in November 4th, was now coming out in July 23rd. Sorry, June 23rd, 2023. Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom has moved from December 16th to March 17th, 2023. The Willy Wonka movie, called Wonka, is supposed to come out in March 17th, 2023, has been moved to December 15th, 2023. Shazam! Fury of the Gods was supposed to come out on June 2nd, 2023. It's been moved up to December 16th, 2022. Meg 2, The Trench, the sequel to The Meg, is that got a release date for August 4th, 2023. And the Batgirl direct to HBO Max film will also probably get delayed because canonically it has to come out after The Flash to make sense.
All right.
So I don't really know why they did this. Or at least I don't know why they did this
They
on
did this
some movies.
because half of their movies aren't ready yet.
Okay, so The Flash is apparently like the CGI is taking forever.
Yeah.
That's the main reason. Because they had to shift that back, and so they just shifted everything else back a date.
Yeah.
Shazam is coming out sooner because
Already mostly done.
it's like finished. They've already filmed
been
and cut
done
it,
for
and they're just
years.
finishing
Yeah.
VFX. And also, apparently, that has to come out for the Flash anyway to like make sense.
Yeah.
Because they're
Fair enough.
rebooting it and then they have to come out in a certain order. So that's got to come out first anyway. So it's good that that moved. I don't know why they moved Black Adam and Super Pets. Super Pets I thought was done. It looked done.
Super Pets is done. I don't know.
And
why
it had a
they moved it.
good date in May. So I don't know why they
I
moved
think they
that.
just want it to be their summer.
I think
And
they
no
just wanted
one's
to
gonna
fill
see
that
it
spot, but
anyways.
that's not a very valuable spot.
Yeah, I don't know. That's weird.
But Black Adam has moved to October. Okay. Aquaman moved from December 16th to March. That was to make way for Shazam, which Shazam is now coming out the same day as Avatar 2. So that movie's gonna die.
Rip.
Yeah, rip to
Well,
Shazam
Avatar
2.
2's not coming out.
You really think it's gonna get delayed?
Yes, Tucker. It's Avatar 2.
Hey,
I don't think
it's
anyone
filmed.
cares.
What's
It's
the
ready
most,
to go.
What is the most notable thing about the Avatar franchise?
I think it's gonna make
the most
decent amount of money.
the most memorable thing about that franchise is that it just never comes out.
It has to make money. Disney will do whatever it takes for it to make money.
No
if they
one's
wanted
gonna
it to
care.
make money, we would have seen literally any marketing.
I don't.
behind
think
Well,
anyone's
it's
gonna care about
still
Avatar.
what 9 months out. Yeah, we're not.
I don't think anyone even knows.
But
it's
they
coming
could
out.
at
We'll get a
least-
title here in the next couple
it.
weeks.
They could have at least made like a 30-minute special for Disney Plus.
We're gonna
or
get a.
something.
We'll get the title and probably a teaser poster here in the next couple weeks. We'll get a full trailer. Probably playing
in like November.
in July around Thor: Love and Thunder. That's another Disney thing, and then it'll ramp up. I mean, they are betting.
I can't.
They're
Not
doing.
for
The
Avatar.
plan was Avatar movie, Star Wars movie, Avatar movie, Star
Obviously,
Wars
that didn't happen,
because they canceled their Star Wars film.
and also Avatar never came out.
Hey, they filmed 2 and 3. There's footage of them, so they got it.
Apparently,
They're gonna do
so
it.
we've been told.
But anyway, yeah, Willy Wonka. That move just to make way
Who
for
cares? Yeah,
for
who cares?
Aquaman.
Shazam
just-
moved up. Okay, Meg 2.
The
who
Flash.
cares?
This is
No
like
one
its
cares.
8th release date.
Not a single person cares about Meg 2.
Yeah, no one cares about Meg.
I
I mean,
don't know.
it's really big in like China.
That's the only reason they're making it.
Yeah. By
Okay,
2023,
let's move on.
2023. By 2023,
2023.
20th Century will produce 10 plus movies per year or
A year.
a year for streaming and 2 to 3 movies theatrical release.
Oof.
That's rough. Rip those
Yeah.
guys. Rip,
Dang.
rip
Disney
them
just
speaking
shanked
ever.
them straight in the stomach.
All right, Disney Plus to land
To launch.
to launch an ad-supported tier later this year at a cheaper price point. How? Like, what is it going to be? Like $2?
I mean, it'll probably be $5 with ads. What's Hulu with ads? $5?
$7 with ads?
It's 5, right?
What's 7?
7?
Like
Yeah,
14
probably
without
five.
ads.
Because Disney Plus
no
numbers
ads
8.
is like $5 more.
Yeah, and it, Disney,
Yeah.
Apple Plus is $5. And there's
Hulu
ads,
no
but there's
ads
also
is
nothing on it.
12.
We still
Hulu base is 6.
Hulu base is $7.99.
Really?
It moved up because Disney Plus went up.
Oh, okay. I know Disney Plus is 8 right now. I think
Yeah.
I think it's gonna go up to 9 like next year.
And we still
then
pay $80
Apple is
bucks
5.
for live TV.
So this will probably be 5, right?
Probably.
And dang, I do love my ads. I love my ads on my streaming.
Ooh,
that.
the
The
entire
entire reason we
point.
got streaming
Was to get rid of ads.
was to
and
get rid of
now
ads.
it's
Bring ads back, guys.
literally. Blu-ray has become the optimal way to watch media now.
Yeah,
We're
except
going
nothing comes
backwards.
out on it.
We're going backwards. Okay.
All right. It is now. Oh wait.
Disney threatened to not broadcast the Oscars if the cut categories that they did were not cut. Sam,
Thanks Disney.
thanks Disney.
Censorship.
Winning
Censorship.
everything. It's not Max. You don't even know what censorship is.
No, they're just
If you think
cut-
this is censorship, you actually don't know what censorship is.
No, they're cutting them because they're idiots and they think the reason no one watches the Oscars is because they recognize good
Censorship
music.
would be like if John Williams had secretly been dead and they don't want the news out that he's
Yeah.
alive, so that's why they're not
and
broadcasting.
they're like
greatest score.
and they're like killing people who are saying the truth.
Yeah, it's like that's this is not
No,
This is
Sam.
not censorship. This is
They
just
don't wanna
horrible
do it.
business
Yeah.
practices. Let's cut half the categories and let's bring in Amy Schumer, guys. Biggest Oscars ratings of all time.
Amy Schumer.
All right. I think that's
All
it
right.
for movie
Let's
news.
finally talk.
On to the Batman, the big boy.
Let's talk about it.
All right.
Pretty mid. I hated it.
Okay. Let's do no spoilers.
For the first like 5 minutes.
Sam.
Okay, so Batman
I know you
dies.
love just spoiling everything. Just try
Batman's
not
actually
to.
Superman.
So Sam, what
After
did you think
Deadshot
of
showed
the
up-
Batman?
I think this might be the best Batman movie.
That's not really a hot take.
Because okay, what are we comparing it to? The Dark Knight? I'm assuming.
I mean, that's the gold
that was the
standard,
previous gold
yeah.
standard. Aside from the villain, everything except the villain, this movie does better.
So you really like this one?
Actually,
I really
Batman
liked it too. I don't know if I
Begins-
liked it more than the Dark Knight. I don't know if they're completely comparable. I think they're very different movies.
I think they're totally different, but we have to
Yeah.
compare them because it's the same character.
because you're obligated to. Yeah.
I think
There'd be a
again,
question-
aside from the villain, this is the best Batman movie.
This is definitely the most
Gotham City.
comic accurate. Yeah.
Gotham City is the best part of this movie. Just the city.
Mhm.
Like never before in a Batman movie has Gotham been an absolute
Gotham.
cesspool that it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Like in the Nolan trilogy, in the Batman movies before that,
We saw
Gotham was really just like
Yeah.
New York with slightly more criminals.
Yeah. The Nolan trilogy started off a little bit more like that. We saw
Yeah.
like the slums and stuff in Batman Begins.
But
The
this,
Dark Knight, we were just doing like Chicago, and then Dark Knight Rises, it was just Chicago. They were literally just filming in Chicago.
Yeah.
It was just Chicago.
this movie felt like they're living in a hopeless place.
Yeah.
It felt like this was like hell on earth.
Which
Like,
is how it should feel.
Which is how that's how it's supposed to be. And I like how they focused a lot more on Batman more as a idea than as an
Yeah.
actual vigilante. Like it's the idea of Batman
Okay.
that fights criminals more than the actual person.
Yeah. So just to get it out of the way, Robert Pattinson, fantastic.
Fantastic Batman.
Just oof. Oh, so good cinematography. That Greg Fraser,
Yeah.
whatever his name is, he did this. He did Dune. He did Mandalorian. That guy
knows what's up.
is on the top of his game.
That
man.
guy's hitting every.
It's incredible.
He's like the John Williams of cinematography.
yeah, pretty much at this point.
Except no one knows who does cinematography.
Yeah. Except it's totally not respected
like him and Roger Deakins
by
are,
average
like, on
audience.
top of
But
their
yeah,
game.
no, the movie's shot phenomenally.
The color grading, the casting, what's her Zoe Kravitz is a great Selena Kyle.
Fantastic Catwoman.
Colin Farrell, I can see why they gave him that show.
Yeah.
God, that's a standout performance right there.
Yeah.
If they did not tell you that was Colin Farrell,
No one
would ever know that was Colin Farrell.
And now that's partially no. Did you hear the stories he had about being on set?
No,
So
yeah,
he walked on set in the full makeup.
yeah,
And the director, or not the, I don't know if it was the director, or one of the producers,
yeah.
like talked to security and was like, "Hey,
Who's that
this
guy?
guy? Why is he in here? Can we get him off set?" And the guy was like, "That's
Colin Farrell."
Colin Farrell." And they were like, "Oh,
Oh, what?
What I really thought was a standout performance was Cat number 3. Did a really great
Funny
job.
joke, Max. Anyway, but like, it's not even just like a makeup performance where like the bit is just they're wearing a lot of makeup.
yeah." Like no, he's
got the makeup there,
yeah.
and it doesn't restrict him. Like that performance is still there. He does a completely different voice.
Yeah.
He's got all these. He's got a completely different mannerisms. He
He
does.
really disappears into the role.
It's just like he transforms.
He's like if Dr. Octopus was rated R.
The only performances
Sure.
what does that even mean? Shut up.
Octopus was rated R. Okay.
Can we get that on a
I don't know what that means.
Can we get that on a t-shirt that Max has to wear? It just says, "What if Dr. Octopus was rated R?" And it just says, I said that. I said that.
Me, 2020.
seriously. Yeah.
I'm
Or
the
2022.
wild card.
All right.
Anyway, what was I? The only performances I think are a little bit weaker are Andy Serkis as Alfred and John Turturro as Carmine Falcone. Andy Serkis is just
I feel
okay.
like really their biggest
Is that they don't
is they just
really
don't have a
they're
lot of
not in a
screen
whole
time.
lot. Yeah. Paul Dano is a great Riddler. He does. There's like two different versions of
Now,
him.
keep in mind,
and he does both of them really
This
well.
is not the Riddler from any previous Batman material.
Not exactly. I
Not-
mean, it's heavily altered, but
this is
there's a
a-
lot of
He's
similarities.
basically a new villain that just has the same Riddler gimmick as
Yeah.
the Riddler.
Yeah, the old
So,
Riddler
Sam-
was like, riddle me
This
Batman.
guy is like
This
if
one's like-
Saw was like a Batman villain.
Yeah, that
He
was
even straight up has
So-
like a Saw trap.
throughout this entire movie. I was just picking apart all of his influences, right?
Yeah.
And the comic influences are really easy to pick up on. The Selena Kyle stuff, that's a lot of year one.
He's like a villain from a horror movie.
Yeah.
And they did that on purpose because like the opening shot of the movie. Now we're getting into sort of spoilers. If you haven't seen the movie, watch. It's Batman. You gotta go watch Batman. Like, come on. The opening shot obviously is him stalking the mayor's family, and then bludgeoning the mayor with a carpet tool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the way that they shoot that, where the mayor's like pacing back and forth on his phone,
And
then once he walks off frame, he's just right there, and he's just like,
still.
yeah, that was chilling.
Yeah. Anyway, what was it? I don't remember what I was talking about. Oh, yeah. So Selena Kyle, all that stuff's very year one. The whole mystery, that's very Long Halloween and Dark Victory.
She's such a better Catwoman than the one from Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah, than Anne Hathaway.
Like, and I'm assuming you saw the story behind her previous attempt to be cast.
Yeah, they didn't want to do it.
She was too, like, what did they say? Too urban. Like, guys.
Hey,
guys.
it's DC, my boys.
Come on, again.
Again.
We just did this with Cyborg.
I mean, technically this was before.
Yeah.
No, I do think the reason I don't, whatever. Anyway, I don't want to talk about that.
Yeah. We don't want to get into that.
Yeah, we don't want to get. But there's a major plot element of this that's very Zero Year. If you're familiar with that story, that's some more modern stuff.
Like the 0 point from Fortnite.
Yeah, just like Batman.
Just like Batman 0 point. But no, you're right. My favorite part of this is that, especially the Nolan movies, at the start of Batman Begins, he's flying back from like him traveling around the world training with assassins or whatever, and he immediately knows what Batman is supposed to be. He's like, I have to fight as an ideal.
Yeah.
What I love about this movie
Batman doesn't really know
is
what
that
to do.
it's about the formation of that ideal.
Yeah.
Of the character of Batman, separate from the person that is Bruce Wayne, his creation.
Yeah.
Like he starts.
You see
off,
Batman not so much creating him like the physical embodiment of Batman, but you see him creating how he wants people
the
to
legend
see Batman.
of Batman.
Yeah.
Right. And it shifts throughout the movie where he starts off as
vengeance,
yeah. And he becomes hope. Well, he becomes a mix of both, which is what Batman is and should be.
Yeah.
Superman is the symbol of hope, right?
Yeah, obviously.
He's optimism.
That's his thing.
Batman is a dark victory. He's a dark hope.
Yeah.
He's willing to do what needs to be done,
even if that's uncomfortable.
But he stands for something better,
and he still
because that's what he's.
And he still has
toward.
his lines that he just doesn't cross.
Yeah, and he has to. And he.
I mean, there's a reason why
now
his arch nemesis's only goal is to try to get Batman to kill him.
Yeah, but the criticism, the idiotic takes I've been seeing on the internet have been driving me insane. There are people who are like, yeah, he's not really Batman because at the end he decides not to be vengeance and he decides to help people. And I'm like, oh, like Batman
never helped anyone
has
before.
Always done?
Yeah.
You mean like Batman's central character arc throughout his early stories?
And I want to talk about two. Again, this is okay. Spoiler time. We can get into spoilers.
The gist of it is you should see it.
Yeah. There's two. For me, there's two defining moments for Batman's change.
Mm-hmm.
There's the scene after the big fight in the like hall or whatever, where he's fighting the dudes on top of the lights, where the guy says, "I am vengeance," like the Riddler,
his acolyte or whatever.
Acolyte
his
guy.
Reddit follower.
Yeah, one of his Twitch followers.
Oh, before we continue, we've seen 2 movies this year, and it's already March, where the villains were angry Redditors.
No, he has an Twitch streamer this time.
Oh, okay. You had angry Redditors and angry Twitch streamers.
He has like the same amount of followers as I do. He's like 509.
Well, to be fair, he had like 10 guys actually show up.
Anyways, so yeah, we see that character say, "I am vengeance" when he's asked, "Who are you?" after he's unmasked. Because the thing is like no one knows who that guy is.
Yeah,
and we can get into that. That's a separate thing, but. Then there was the moment after that where Batman cuts the electric wire and he's pulling those people out, because we see how he's inspired the villains.
Yeah.
And then while he's pulling those people out, there's a businessman standing next to him. I think a lot of people miss this. When Batman starts reaching in and pulling people out, he looks up at Batman and then he starts doing the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Through just that subtle interaction, we see Batman making a positive change. And it's slower. And it's slower than, you could argue it's slower than the negative change he's brought on thus far. But it's starting to change. You can see he's starting to make a positive impact with just that one subtle glimpse there.
My favorite bit of this is that this movie is very much a mystery, right?
Yeah. Which, again, exactly what we wanted to see.
It approaches the mystery plot in the same way it does its character arc,
Yeah.
which is so brilliant. Early on in the movie, the mayor dies and he has a kid, and throughout the movie, Batman will come in contact with him, and he sees him. His father's dead. He's sad. He sees himself, obviously, because he, of course, also lost his father. And then at the end, when the Riddler acolyte says, "I am vengeance," you see the entire character arc come into play.
Yeah.
Where Batman realizes if he just continues on the path of just a spirit of vengeance, then he is like the Riddler, and he will create more of himself. He will create more Bruce Waynes, more orphans, right?
Yeah.
He will cause more harm than good. And because he has now saved that kid and he realizes this is what will change things, and because that also connects with the Riddler, who was an orphan himself, who was also abandoned by society, he realizes that that's the hope that people need, is to save them from the darkness rather than chase it away.
Yeah.
And I love. That was one of my favorite parts of the entire movie. The ending scene is great. The third act, I saw some people complaining about the third act.
The third act almost saves the movie.
I
think without that third act, the villain would have been very much unfinished.
I understand where they're coming from, where it kind of feels like it's not a huge escalation from the rest, mostly because this movie is 3 hours, right? It's got like 3 third
There's
acts.
a 4-hour cut coming out.
He said, Matt Reeves says he has a 4-hour cut. I don't know.
He said it's releasing on.
I don't think they'll ever release. I don't know.
No, he said that he fully plans to release.
I'm sure he wants to, but I don't know.
He
if
said
Warner
something
Brothers
along the
will.
lines of like the fans who want to see it deserve to see.
Yeah, I'm sure if enough people tweet about it, we'll get it. But anyway, it's like the third act. It's not like a huge. It's not like a Nolan third act where like they're
just
fighting
the
on the
same thing, but more.
where they're like hitting each other at like the steps of City Hall and there's a bomb.
Goes.
Yeah, or whatever. Like it's like not as huge, and I think part of that's because of COVID.
No, it was big. Like
it was a big
freaking walls.
Yeah.
Okay, that was another thing. I'm unfamiliar with the year one con. Is the
0 year?
Is like the world flooded for some reason?
So
what's the deal with that?
Zero. So year one, which is the Frank Miller, David Mazzucchelli.
Like, why would you build a city halfway underwater? That makes no sense.
So that year one is very ground. That's like the grounded one, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of the elements of Batman and Selena Kyle's characterization are taken from that. A 0 year, which was by Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo, was kind of they wanted to do something similar, but they wanted to kind of do the opposite. 0 year, the idea was, okay, let's do early days Batman, but what if it was like 70s goofy Batman, right?
Yeah.
Like he's wearing the purple gloves. The Riddler's the villain. He's wearing a biking suit.
Yeah.
And the Riddler's plan in that is it doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but it's not supposed to. But he floods the whole city and then kind of takes over.
Yeah.
And the whole bit of the city it was called the Savage City arc. Is the city is like covered in moss. It looks like the post-apocalypse.
Okay.
And there's like tigers running around. He does it just to basically prove he's mentally superior to everyone else. It's a goofy comic and it's intentionally goofy.
It's a lot less goofy here.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's treated more seriously.
Much more serious. Yeah.
And I again, Paul Dano's performance. I love his shift from throughout the entire movie. He's so like intimidating and mysterious. Zodiac
Everything
killer.
he does makes sense.
Makes sense. Yeah.
He's trying to, in a very evil way,
do what Batman's doing.
Yeah, he's trying to flush out the corruption within Gotham, and he does that by killing off
all of
various,
the politicians,
politicians, figureheads,
and then
people who are running the public institutions, and then
purifying
ultimately
the police force
by flooding the city and very physically washing out the city.
But Paul Dano, once again, his performance in the scene at Arkham is so good.
So good.
It's such a major shift in the way that characters perceived, but it makes so much sense because all of Batman's villains are insane. Nothing they do makes sense.
And if you look at them,
but
at
it only makes
level,
sense to them.
They seem goofy, just nutty. Like the Riddler, he's a crazy dude in a top hat who spouts out rhymes and blows things up for like no reason.
Did you see that one video of that guy complaining because like the villain was the Riddler and the movie wasn't like enough fun?
I saw a lot.
I saw a lot of people saying it was like too dark, and I'm like,
It's
when was it sold?
freaking Batman.
Well, it's when it's Batman, but
the man only fights crime at nighttime.
It was never sold as that.
No one sold it as a
Like,
bright, happy
I
imagine-
think people were expecting like Jim Carrey Riddler, where he goes, Batman.
Well,
make
no,
it into a wall
I don't know
of
why they
ice."
were expecting that.
Yeah.
Because like
No,
if
this
you
is
looked
a
at any of the
dark and
marketing,
gritty
it's
world.
all advertised as
Like
that.
all of the higher ups, they hang out at this seedy, dirty
Yeah.
club where they're, beating up prostitutes and stuff.
Yeah.
Like it's not a happy world.
No, and I was like, that's like going into like the tragedy of Macbeth and going, why wasn't that a family comedy film?
Why didn't Macbeth say more funny, goofy things? It's like he's not supposed to say.
No
funny,
one ever
goofy
told
things.
you he was
No
going
one told
to.
you he was going to say
Yeah,
funny,
I
goofy
don't-
things.
I think the most of the criticisms are just people who are like, comic book movies should exclusively be
Or people who just have
goofy
just
nonsense.
the absolute worst takes
Yeah, no.
I've ever seen.
This
in a
might be
super-
the most obvious case of I hate it because other people like it I think I've ever
and
seen.
then there were some other takes coming from more politically
Did you see
indentured
Ben
individuals.
Shapiro's review of
There was
this?
Ben. Did you see that one guy on TikTok?
No.
So I don't remember his name. There was some incel guy on TikTok posted this video from his car after seeing. He's like, "Why is every good
Oh,
person
yes,
in the movie
I did see
not
that.
white?" I'm like, who cares?
Batman's the one. He's just wrong.
Yeah, he's just
But
wrong.
Batman's the main character and he's white.
It was
It's like, why are all the
just
corrupt politicians white? I'm just like, they are.
absolutely retarded takes.
Yeah, no, it's
Yeah, and everyone, the casting was on point for every single character.
Yeah.
Commissioner Gordon was fantastic.
yeah. I mean,
Absolute knockout performance.
he's not able to really like be a very like well-rounded version of that
because
character.
we don't have a whole lot of time.
We
for
don't
him.
have
Well, we
for
do.
a 3-hour movie.
Yeah.
There's not a whole. It's not exploring a lot of
very
other
much
characters.
focuses on the Riddler. And Batman.
It's mostly
Yeah.
Batman, it's called the Batman. So
I don't know what you expected. Yeah,
Well, yeah, it's mostly him, and probably the main side character who gets the most development is Catwoman.
yeah.
But
Who again? Phenomenal performance.
but Commissioner Gordon, he's great. He's the main source of levity.
Yeah,
There's not a whole lot of jokes, but when there is jokes, it's
usually from him.
It's usually
Yeah.
him and Batman, which I just love it whenever those two characters react at any point because they have such a fun
I feel
dynamic.
like over time they're gonna develop like the dynamic from like Teen Titans Go. Like they
Where
just
they're
chill
just,
out
like,
together,
they're just, like, eating cheeseburgers.
Ah.
but
just like chilling in a cop car. Riddler's like, you are just
yeah, but I saw a lot of people also complaining about how the Bruce Wayne in this movie isn't
Yeah,
as he's not the playboy billionaire,
which I do understand.
which I agree with. I agree with that take. But again, this is very early on in Batman's career. He's just now embracing the Batman persona. He's just starting down this very dark path.
Yeah,
And you could see why that would, seclude him from the. Like they said in the movie, he's elusive. No one hears from him. His fan.
he sits in a.
He's
big,
not involved in philanthropy like his
Yeah,
family.
he
used to
literally
be.
just sits in a. They think
He's a
just,
recluse.
Yeah,
Which I think we will see going forward. Batman sort of come out into the light more often, like in his Bruce Wayne persona.
his arcs start again. One of the reasons I think people's criticisms are kind of invalid on this is they're comparing it to the Nolan trilogy, which was 3 films.
Yeah.
3 whole movies of stuff. This is one.
And for the again, if we compare, let's not compare this to The Dark Knight, because that's
If
the
anything,
second
you
movie.
compare it to Batman Begins.
Yeah, which there's very little Bruce Wayne in that movie.
Well,
There is, but he's in
I mean,
some
it's
foreign prison.
yeah. But in that movie, he's Batman just completely. He's like good at he's just like your normal modern day comic Batman, like an hour and a half in.
Almost a Mary Sue.
Well, he comes in, he gets all of his gear from Lucius Fox,
Yeah.
and then an hour and a half in, he's just normal Batman.
Yeah, like I
right?
said, he's very much he doesn't have to.
This is
try
a
a whole
completely different take, which is, I think, throughout the course of this trilogy, because they're gonna do 3 of these at least. We're just gonna see him slowly evolve into that in every single way.
'Cause
I
in-
think we're gonna see
yeah.
his gear evolve, the Bruce Wayne persona evolve, Batman as a symbol evolve. I think that is the approach he's taking, which is a very, very good. It's a really smart idea to
Start off
differentiate
that
it
way, yeah.
from the other ways
in
they've
this
done
movie,
this.
Batman screws up pretty much everything he tries to do.
Which
I like
love.
I like the scene where he's testing out his like flight suit. Like he has to scurry and put on his flight suit. That just shows like because he's not Batman yet.
And then
He's not fully.
And then when
he
he uses it,
technology.
his parachute gets
He
caught on a
hits- he
bridge.
hits a
and he
bridge.
bonks his
Yeah.
head on it.
Like that's also
And he
that's,
like limps back home.
that's another thing from year one.
Everything we see Batman do, for the most part, he's pretty bad.
Yeah.
Aside from beating people up,
Beating
he's pretty
up
good at
guys
that.
on
And I think you'll see a lot of elements of this carry over into the next one in the way his equipment evolves.
Yeah,
In year one, he goes out on his
very
first
rudimentary.
he goes out on his first night, and he doesn't have the cape yet. He doesn't have the glider, and he beats up some guys, and then he falls off like a fire escape.
Mm-hmm.
Or no, he tries to jump off he like tries to get away,
Yeah,
and then he just like hits the side of a building and falls down because he doesn't have any way to glide off.
Yeah,
And then he adds a glider to his suit. So I think we're gonna see a lot of that type of stuff move throughout this trilogy. Where in this one he has the one giant battering in the center that he clicks out and then clicks
I
back
think he'll
in.
keep that.
And then in the next one he'll go, okay, well, how do I make this better? I make some smaller ones I can pull out of my
think
belt.
he'll keep because I think they're trying to turn that weapon into like a weapon, like an iconic weapon. Like you can't have a bunch of little tiny knives. That's not iconic. Like the bat dagger almost is a. I think they'll use that as a symbol.
I think it'd be cooler, like if
But
you
like
use them more as
the
like
flight
kunai.
suit, that didn't work very well.
Yeah, I think
Let's
we'll see an
try a
improved
bigger
version of
glider
that.
that comes out of the cape that I don't have to put on. Like I think we'll see a lot of that, and especially at the end of this because he gets his costume like burnt up and like beat up.
Yeah,
I think we'll definitely see
an
another
improved
one.
version. He also had
improved
those
version.
like I don't even know what was on his arm. Those little pointy things. What was that?
I think those were he tases someone
he
with a
tases someone,
skull.
but that's like with in his like.
That's
glove.
another thing is
I think those are like grappling.
there's even
No, because he has a grappling hook.
I think those are just supposed to be arm guards.
And
like,
why did
and
they-
that's just what he made them out of.
No, he had a
They
grappling
looked like
hook,
little
or he
capsules, but I
like-
think they were.
He did a move and it would like flip out.
I think he. Oh, is it that? Was that gadget? Is that gadget he has all the time? That it's just a thing that like slightly extends his arm so he can hit people a little bit further away. He uses that in the Dark Knight and in the Batman '89. That's my favorite gadget he has.
Where he flicks his wrist and the grappling hook flips into his hand.
Oh yeah, his grapple hook is like
It's
in
like part of his gauntlet.
It's part of his gauntlet. Which is fine. I would have preferred them do the animated series one where it's less of a gun and like more of like a device. Whatever.
I'd rather him pull out like a comically large grappling hook.
No, I think it is like in Lego Batman where he has like the gigantic
Yeah, just
grappling
the
gun.
giant gun.
No, I think in the gun. I feel like Batman's gadgets in this movie are a lot more realistic compared to the other one. He doesn't really have a lot of gadgets. He really only has the grapple hook and the taser
He
and the
doesn't even
wingsuit.
have. He doesn't even have the Batmobile itself. And
I mean, he has like a turbocharged.
he's mostly
like,
driving.
Corvette.
Well, no, he has that, but it's like it's not. You see throughout the movie, it's like not properly like put
it's
together.
The Batmobile, but this is like the sloppy jalopy.
Yeah.
Like we strapped a rocket engine to a regular car
Again,
and called it a Batmobile.
I think the theme of this trilogy of movies is like evolution.
Yeah.
Evolution as a hero, evolution as a person, as Bruce Wayne, and like evolution of like how he does what he does.
Yeah, because also Batman's like kind of a creepy
and
weirdo in this movie.
and his relationships,
Yeah.
right? Because he's like flirting with
he's
Selena
very
Kyle,
much a creep in this
but they're
movie.
not together.
Like
and
the first time he interacts with her outside of he meets her in the museum or whatever, and then like pretty much stalks her from like a block away with his
he's
binoculars.
A weird creep.
Yeah, he's a
And
creepy
that's what
weirdo.
Batman is an insane man, right?
He's kind of crazy.
He's completely insane.
Yeah.
Who would dress up in a bat suit and run around punching homeless people?
And the most tragic part of Batman is that this city is so beyond saving
that this is what they
the sanest person, the one who is most equipped to save the city is this nutcase.
Is just as insane as the
Is
criminals.
a crazy billionaire
Yeah.
who dresses as a bat and beats people up in the
He
street.
lives
but
in
like-
a big castle mansion.
Yeah.
Again, I do think the major fault of Bruce Wayne not having a huge presence in this is that Alfred doesn't have a huge role.
Yeah.
He explodes. He doesn't die. even
Spoiler
though-
alert.
He survives.
Yeah, he's fine.
And
Well,
they have a
he's
great
fine.
scene in the hospital.
Yeah.
Which I think will carry on into the next movie because that scene he realizes two things. One, Alfred is my only family
Yeah,
here.
because
It's just
that.
me and
Okay,
him.
that line was cringy when Alfred's like, "Dude, you should sleep," and he goes, "You're not my dad."
Yeah.
I was like, Come on.
Well, that's this version is.
Yeah.
This is the angsty teen Nirvana fan Batman. Like,
Yeah.
you could totally. He was definitely cranking that
He was
on the
full on emo
earpods.
mode. Yeah.
But
no, there was another TikTok I saw where like Batman flipping through like the radio channel trying to find the perfect song to chase the Penguin to while he was like in his Batmobile.
Because the Knights,
But
no, but like in that scene, he realizes Alfred is my only family, and then also in that scene,
no,
he realizes that whatever his family legacy is, whatever he makes of it, which will then carry over into the next thing. Again, I think this is
the
a
old
lot of the
lady is
problems
there
people have will be
that's
well-rounded
another thing
in
that
the
we
follow-up.
haven't addressed yet, at least in this movie, is the legacy of the Waynes.
Yeah,
It gets tarnished in this movie. We don't see him recover it.
They have one element that I do not like. They imply that the murder of Thomas and Martha Wayne was maybe the mob.
That was implied in other Batman stuff.
That was also in Earth 1, which is they've also influenced from this. But what I prefer is that the Thomas and Martha Wayne murders were a random act of violence. That's also why I didn't really like it in Joker either.
Well, no, and the Joker was also it was a random act of violence. It was there was
but
just
it was
some rioters
but it was
going on
one
and
of the
got shot.
clown guys, right? It was one of the clown guys.
Yeah,
and
but
he
he wasn't targeting them.
Yeah,
they
but
just walked up and he shot.
I like the
I think that the Joker, that movie, could fit in with because the Gotham in that movie is just as dark as the Gotham in this one, or at least close to it. Like we can see it starting to crumble.
Well, your problem is that timeline-wise, it wouldn't.
Well, no, because that one took place in the 70s.
It was in the 80s
or 80s. This is
the
modern day.
This is modern day. It's like 40 years.
Batman could totally be.
But he was like
12.
10 in that.
Yeah, but they
And
can
he'd be
make
like
Joker.
50.
No, but
He'd
they
be
can
like
make
30.
Joker more of like a crime
he
boss guy.
How old would he? Whatever. The point
He'd
is,
be in
they
his
could
like
make it.
late 40s.
They could make it work. But yeah, how old is Robin Pattinson?
He's
Like 30,
mid 30s, I think.
Yeah, you could. Anyway,
Batman's starting his career at 48. Alfred's like, what are you doing? You've been sitting in here listening to Nirvana for 30 years.
Master Wayne, I think it's time to get out of bed.
They also gave him the magic contact lenses from the modern stuff.
Well, they were just
Yeah.
cameras though.
I think that I do like that they were just cameras.
Yeah.
I'm so glad they were
If
not
they were the
heads-up
dumb
display.
hologram ones, I
It was
would have
like
not liked
Iron
that.
Man, Jarvis
Yeah,
ones,
I'm
that
glad it
would-
Yeah.
wasn't. I think they will evolve to that in the next
Yeah.
one.
I'm
But
actually
I'm glad that they
couldn't do
weren't.
the-
I'm glad that they, yeah.
It was literally
Now,
just a
how
camera.
does a contact lens be a camera?
No, those exist.
Could happen.
We also have contact lenses that can actually like zoom in on stuff. Like that's a real thing. It's scary, but it
That
exists.
is, I don't know.
There's also ones that can make you be able to see at night because they convert infrared light into visible light.
Visible light.
Yeah, which is really I mean obviously that for Batman that
Yeah.
could be a great thing to
That's
have.
a great
Just wear
tool.
my, eye patch.
Other notes, miscellaneous notes. Great opening scene.
The opening is fantastic.
You know what I liked
It
about-
immediately
Great
sets the tone.
Batman theme. I like that he writes literally everything he does down in a little notebook.
Because he's so
This might
insane
be
that he
my
forgets
favorite
everything.
Batman theme, and that's saying a lot. The Batman themes
I
are
don't
pretty
know.
iconic.
I like the classic Danny Elfman one.
I mean that one
Probably
that one's
more.
great, but just the heavy. This one feels a lot. It fits this universe
Yes, very well.
perfectly.
hmm
Like the other one was good, but it wasn't perfect
Yeah.
like this one is for this movie.
You know what I liked about this movie? That the movie didn't really have control over it, but it wasn't overhyped. Like,
Yeah, it
because
really
Spider-Man
wasn't
No Way
overhyped.
Home,
Was
the,
overhyped
like
for me.
Yeah,
So much.
Spider-Man No
Oh
Way
my
Home
God.
conflict with me because everyone was so insane about it.
I went
But it
to
was like it wasn't that good. Like it was
Yeah.
great, but it wasn't that good. And I had like a fresh perspective.
this is
on
definitely
Batman.
a better. This is
I-
the best superhero movie I've seen.
I
in my life.
liked that I went to a comic book movie opening weekend and a thing came up that people knew and they didn't go, oh my
Yeah.
gosh, I know what that is.
I saw that guy on
I've
TikTok.
seen that before. That's Brand.
That's Flarky Barky from the fifth comic in 1907.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, and they set up a lot of things that I feel like they could easily pursue in future things. Like we see Batman using the serum on his leg,
Mhm.
which is
maybe is
glowing
Venom.
and green and looks a
Oh,
lot
the-
like Venom.
Yeah,
they confirmed that the
Venom,
mayor's
not the
kid is
alien
not going to
Venom.
be Robin.
Venom, the
obviously.
the Bane Venom,
Yeah.
not the Bane like the Dark Knight Rises Bane, Bane like the comic book
Marvel
Bane.
DC crossover.
The commissioner.
Obviously they set up the Joker.
The commissioner gets killed, so it'll probably be Commissioner Gordon in the next one. and
yeah,
this
the
one he's-
commission. Yeah, Gordon is not the commissioner.
He's
in this
he's
movie. just-
Lieutenant
just a
Gordon
cop.
right
Yeah,
now.
he's
Yeah.
like a cop dude.
He will be the commissioner in the next one. And also, who else is dead? What other notable political figure in Gotham is now dead? Not the mayor.
Mr. Gil Colson's dead, Sam.
And what is he?
He is the district attorney.
Who else is the district attorney of Gotham?
One Harvin Darvin Dent.
Yes, Harvey Dent, as he is more commonly known,
Um,
or
I-
perhaps more commonly known as
okay.
Two-Face.
Yes.
Or Harvin Darvin did.
So I made notes. So I have 5 things I think they're gonna do in the second one, and then I have 5 things I want them to do. So number 1 for the sequel, Joker's gonna be the villain. It'll be Joker and Riddler teaming up, but then Joker will betray Riddler and be the main guy.
Yeah.
Obviously. 2 time jump. I think we're gonna time jump past the flood. It'll still have like caused a lot of damage, but I don't think we'll be wading through
I
puddles
think
of
it'll
water.
start with the flood, and then we'll time jump.
We'll time jump.
The opening scene will be the flood.
I think Catwoman's gonna come back, having not seen him since this
And they'll
movie,
still have
having become like actual
but
Catwoman.
She'll have a girlfriend, but she'll still have
Oh,
feelings for Bruce Wayne.
That's right. I mean, that's this movie.
Well, no, she didn't have a girlfriend. She just had a friend that she was
It's a
living
girl.
with.
Was
It
heavily implied to be her
that they are
girlfriend.
perhaps in a relationship.
Yeah,
Even though
Um,
she, in all honestly, doesn't seem
yeah,
out.
yeah. She
dying.
really
Oh,
kind of
no,
moves on
she
fast.
No, she did try to kill her dad because of it.
But
Dad-
half of that
Oh,
was
right.
motivated because of what he did to her mom.
Yeah,
So
Oh, no,
there was a lot of.
it's
She was a very complex character.
yeah,
I
and
liked her
then
character a lot.
Number 4, Gordon's gonna be the commissioner now.
Yeah,
Gonna be in
obviously.
charge.
I love
And
Gordon
along with that, I
Commissioner.
think Harvey Dent will be in it.
Won't
I
be
don't-
Two-Face.
I don't think we'll do Two-Face. If we do, I don't think we'll focus a whole movie on it
Yeah,
because we already did that with the Dark Knight. That was the whole part of
Yeah,
that.
there's some characters like the Joker who you can't.
You'll
have
just do
Batman
again
without
and
the
again,
Joker.
yeah.
You just can't. Like you could, but it wouldn't really be Batman without the Joker. That's his big guy.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's like Superman without Lex. Like there are certain characters that are just inseparable, like in their mythos. Those are one of them. Now,
When are they
Two-Face-
gonna do Clayface?
Two-Face is one of those villains he's a big villain, but because he was like a big villain in the last series,
Yeah,
I don't think
I think
he's very much like Dr. Connor in the Spider-Man trilogies, where
Mhm.
like he was in one, but he didn't actually get lizarded. And then the second one he was lizarded. I think he was already Two-Faced in the last one, so I think he's just basically gonna be Harvey.
I think
Dent.
what we're gonna do is second one, Harvey Dent. It's
maybe
just
in the third one.
It's just Harvey
Yeah.
Dent the whole time. In between 2 and 3, another time jump, and then he's just become Two-Face in between that time, and he can just show up as like a mob character.
Yeah,
I
a
think
little
they
bit.
should introduce
And then
Clayface in
5,
the next one.
I
that'd
think
be
it's
a great
gonna
villain.
focus. I think the next one's gonna focus a lot on Bruce Wayne becoming like the public perception of Bruce Wayne. He's gonna be more involved in Wayne Enterprises. He's gonna be parading around as a big millionaire guy,
Yeah.
right? It's gonna be about him and like starting to do philanthropy. He'll become
getting more involved in
becoming
the
more of
city.
the Batman of the Bruce Wayne of the comics. And then the 5 things I want them to do is Mr. Freeze, do the main villain of the next one. Matt Reeves has expressed interest in it. It'd be a villain
I
that
would
they
love to
have
see him. In
they
that.
have done before, but they did
They
terribly.
did it so bad.
So he's open.
Possibly the worst
Maybe the
adaptation
worst.
of a villain ever.
When are they gonna do Calendar? Okay. Now,
He is in Long Halloween.
I think this
True.
could be a great villain for Batman.
He's not as goofy as he is. Like
He's not
in
as
the-
goofy as he sounds.
No, in the comics, he's
He's a
just like
serial killer.
he's just a straight up serial killer.
Yeah.
And then in number 2, I want them to do, at least for the second one, not Joker as the villain.
I would love not to. Have
If
Joker
you're
as the
gonna
villain.
do him, just save him for the third one.
That's what I want them to do.
Or make him like the ringleader of everything.
Here's what I would want them to do.
I know what they're going to.
I know
do.
what they're going to do, and it's gonna be worse than what I'm.
It's gonna be. They're gonna. Do,
Hey, they could surprise us. It could be.
They're gonna-
amazing.
they're
We
gonna
don't know
do a
yet.
war of jokes and riddles.
Yeah. But what I want them to do, Mr. Freeze is the main villain.
Mm-hmm.
The Riddler and Joker cameo at the end again,
Mm-hmm. Setting up for the
setting
third
up
one.
for the third one.
Maybe they recruit some other villains.
Yeah, maybe
that
the
pop up.
Penguin's involved or something.
Yeah.
But I agree. I think Mr. Freeze, and I'm not talking about Batman and Robin,
all
Mr.
their are
Freeze.
swoosh, yeah.
Or like
Like
most of the comic book Mr. Freeze.
well, I'm talking like Batman the animated series,
That's the
Heart of
Mr.
Ice.
I want the red glowing
Yeah.
eyes. The like
guy whose wife
is dying of mega
of a-
cancer
and his only goal is to save her.
at any cost.
But he's just he's just lost all his humanity.
yeah, in the
and
process.
And I know Matt Reeves has been like, I want to do everything super duper grounded. And like, okay, I get that, but maybe a little bit of the like dumb magic stuff, right?
Yeah.
You don't. We can give Mr. Freeze a freeze gun. No one's gonna be upset
No,
if Mr. Freeze has
I
a
think
freeze
how
gun.
they would do
Yeah.
him is they'd have him be like a kind of a drug guy, and he'd use like a chemical, or, like
I could
freeze
see
their veins
that.
or
I could see that working.
Just give
like
him a
he
freeze
injects
gun.
people with like a canister,
Or maybe he just has a gun that just
Just like,
paralyzes you or
Yeah,
like
something.
it's a
I don't
bullet with like a chemical.
he just has a
I think they
normal
do it by
gun.
using chemicals because I don't think they'd want
He
him
has
to
a
be in
normal
like the
gun
big.
and he freezes people by shooting them in the head.
Or maybe he makes like grenades that freeze you or something. I feel like a straight
Or-
up freeze ray is a little bit too cartoony.
Come on.
Or I think
Come
they
on.
just go
It's
the
Mr.
complete
Freeze.
opposite
Come
direction. Give him a big mech freeze suit and you go, Mr.
Chill out. I don't want that. I do
He
not
just
want that.
throws ice cubes.
But like, if he does want to do a Bane, it's okay if he takes serum and gets some big muscles. Like,
Yeah, I mean,
that's fine.
We see that in this movie.
Yeah. If he wants to do a man bat, let a man turn into a big bat creature.
I feel
That's
like Man
okay.
Bat actually could work very well in this universe.
Yeah. If he wants to do a
'Cause
Joker,
he's very much a creature of mad science.
yeah. If he wants to do a crazy Joker who makes big Joker face bombs, it's all right, dude. It's okay.
We'll forgive you.
And not everything has to. Especially, I don't want all of these to just be there's a serial killer in town and Batman
Yeah.
has to solve the
Now,
case.
Joker, you can kind of do that because.
But the guy who does the Joker crimes is the guy who leaves the Joker card at all of his
Yeah.
crimes.
Exactly. He's
Problem with them
Apparently,
doing
he had 2 more scenes in this, and they were he shows up at Arkham, and he's already encountered him at this point, because this is year 2, right? He's already encountered him, and he was like interrogating him about like what he knows about the Riddler.
yeah
I think the reason they cut it is, one, they wanted to save it
for the end.
for the end as a big reveal, and 2, they have not settled on a design yet.
Yeah,
The Joker,
that's very clear.
because he's all in shadow.
They
and
don't-
he's very obviously a
They
computer
don't
animated
show
image.
you who he is, but you do see the side of his face.
and it's all
And
like
it's that scarred up smile.
He's obviously like very jacked up.
yeah. I
think he's going for an Arkham Games type look for Joker.
Yeah, I feel like, okay, there is that one version of the Joker, the very, very dark one, who cut his face off and stapled it back on.
Yeah, Death in the Family stuff.
I feel like this would be the only Batman universe where we could possibly see that version of the Joker.
Yeah, but I think
that would be really cool. I don't know if they want to go all the way with that, but I think if there is a Batman continuity where we could see a Joker that nuts, this is the only one we could get it.
I think they could do that, but I think you just want to have like normal vanilla Joker show up first just to see what he's like
And then
in
you
this
see him come
universe.
back
and then if
totally
you want to bring him back,
crazy.
you can do that or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, they haven't settled on a design yet, and you can tell they have casted. It's Barry Keoghan from
Eternals. He played the
Druid,
Droog.
Mind Man.
Yeah, the mind control guy.
Yeah,
Who
Druid
didn't
from,
really get a whole lot of time to shine in that movie. I haven't seen a whole lot of his work.
yeah.
Maybe he'll be really cool. I don't know.
I don't know, but the other things I want them to do, Robin, but he's a little kid.
Yeah, I wanted him to
Not
do
like
a
an
proper
8-year-old.
Robin.
Because like,
Not-
and then have him actually like adopt Robin.
Yeah.
In Batman Forever, he adopts a 25-year-old man.
Yeah, like, what is that?
What?
No.
No, like,
Listen,
like
Batman,
if you're
it's
gonna
not a
do it,
phase.
get like an actual kid actor, and Robin is canonically 14.
Yeah.
Hall.
See, I think that they could also go the Batgirl route with
I think
Barbara
the
Gordon.
only thing stopping them from doing that is that we
she's
have the
gonna be in the
Batgirl
other
movie,
one. Yeah.
and we're not doing a Robin movie, so just might as well use Robin.
Yeah. that's
Also,
true.
the Long Halloween follow-up of Dark Victory that has Robin in it, and that does focus a lot on like this, especially since this is he obviously wants to focus on the psychosis of Batman a lot,
Mhm.
and that comic does focus on like the insane man that would bring a 14-year-old into his crusade
Yeah.
to punch people.
I feel
punch
like
people.
if they're gonna do Robin in the next one, you gotta kill him at the end. and then Red Hood would show up in the third one.
Well, I think they would do Dick Grayson, so I don't think they would do he gets killed.
But I feel like, again, this is the only chance where we have a Batman universe this dark to do those really dark Batman stories.
Okay.
I feel like we could get a
Here's
really
the
good Joker.
Now,
death.
here's the $1 million question. Do you just ditch all of the other DCEU stuff and just pivot to this universe?
Yes.
No, because the director has already said he doesn't want this Batman ever interacting with the other DC hero characters.
Mm-hmm.
I think he said verbatim, like, this Batman will never meet Superman. Something like that.
Well, he said that he doesn't want to, like, he said, like, the Bat universe is already, like, a whole lot.
Yeah.
He said, like, throwing Superman on top of that would
Too much.
Would be too much. And also, if he doesn't want to do his everything is grounded in reality thing, alien from space
Doesn't really
showing
work.
up
Yeah.
wouldn't really work.
But
But
I feel like this Batman, at least at this point in his career, would not work in the Justice League.
okay, the problem is everything they're making right now, other than this, sucks balls.
Yeah.
It's really bad.
Bad.
It's so bad. They made one good movie and one good
One
show.
and a half good movies.
And even like
Okay, 2.5 good
so
movies.
the DCEU has like 3 movies I like in it, right?
Wonder Woman's good, like genuinely good.
Mm-hmm. Shazam,
Shazam is
pretty
the
good.
half good one because there's still
It's-
a lot of stupid in that movie.
But it's fun.
but it's a
good.
fun movie.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Like you can
and
go
then
see
the
with your mom.
Suicide Squad is
the
the
new
other
one
good one.
is good.
Yeah. Even though I like those, I don't like them enough where it's worth
It's not worth saving that universe.
It's worth keeping the dead weight that is everything else in that.
It's not worth keeping.
And I'm not counting
Aquaman.
Zack Snyder's Justice League because that's its own thing.
That doesn't count.
Because
Yeah.
they're counting Justice League 2017, the theatrical cut. That's
Yeah.
the canon version of that movie. So, I would get rid of the freaking Aquaman 2, of Wonder
Itch it.
Woman 1984,
Itch it gone.
The Flash with Michael Keaton
Already
for
gonna
some
be bad.
reason out. I would even ditch that Shazam stuff, Black Adam.
Black
get rid
Adam
of
looks like it
all
might be
that,
good.
and I would just use Batman as a hard reset.
Yeah,
Just full pivot. This is the universe.
and we just have individual movies
And
in
then-
this larger universe.
And the way you do that without messing it up is you just do the Batman is its own thing. It's totally different from the Superman, which is its own thing, which is totally different from the Wonder Woman or whatever the one you want to do.
Yeah, I'm gonna go get my charger real
The
quick.
Okay.
problem with DC is that they just keep trying to copy Marvel's
They
format,
just
and
need
it
to
just
do
doesn't
the
work.
Batman, the Superman, and the Wonder Woman.
Yeah. And then if you want to cross them over, it's fine, but you don't have to have them interfere with each other. Sam is gone right now. So now is the time where we burn dead air.
Today we are sponsored by Danny DeVito.
The
Just
actor.
him, just the actor.
What is he in? He was in Dumbo. Go watch Dumbo.
Go watch Dumbo, starring.
He was in it. What? I don't know what his most recent movie. It might be Dumbo.
Doing always.
I mean, yeah, he's doing Always Sunny until
Okay,
he
we're
dies.
back.
Anyway.
Anyways,
But yeah, I would just hard pivot. And I even like a lot of the casting in the current DCEU. Like
Jason Momoa is perfect casting. for
Gal
Aquaman.
Gadot, real
Gal
good.
Gadot is perfect casting for
But-
Wonder Woman,
That universe sucks.
but she
They really
the
ruined
movie
and
that
you
just
not
1984.
Just move over here. It's nice and cool. We got our HBO Max shows already moving and
Heck,
grooving.
I mean, the Wonder Woman movie they already made would fit perfectly in with this universe.
I wouldn't even do that. I would just kill them all. I'd just dump that whole thing.
Yeah, I'm just saying it could.
If
it
you
was
wanted
made
to work it in, yeah, but I would just ditch
in
it.
another time in another place.
the problem with DC is that they're
Heck, even the
trying-
first Man of Steel movie could have worked in this universe. Not obviously Batman versus Superman does not, because there's a
Yeah.
different Batman, but like individually, those
Yeah.
movies could have been. Because what could have been
Yeah.
is so sad to think of. Imagine
Every day I
this
think about
Batman going up against Superman.
Imagine if we had character development before they when he fought
Exactly.
Darkseid. That was the best part of Zack Snyder's Justice League, is because it was 4 hours. It
They
was
got
3
some
hours of
development,
character
yeah.
development.
Yeah, that was the problem with before they were on DC stuff, is they were like trying
Close.
to they were trying to build up the characters, and they were just like, what if we just do team up movie right now
They
and
gave
skip
up after
everything
one thing.
else?
They were like, this is taking too long. Just go straight to bed.
Let's skip it. Who cares?
They were like, okay, you guys
And
know
they
how
were
like
like,
Marvel
oops,
built up
backtrack,
everything?
restart.
Backtrack.
Now we have to take
no.
4 times as
The
long.
backtrack didn't work. Re-backtrack it into a different direction. Oh, that didn't work. Just bring in Michael Keaton. Just
What if
bring
we
in Michael
make
Keaton.
all of our
He'll
movies
bring some
dark?
goodwill.
He'll fix it.
Oh no, it's taking too long. Dwayne Johnson, you want to be in a movie? Dwayne, you want to do a movie for us? Justice Society now.
Suicide
Justice
Squad.
Society's here. They're the new Justice
They're
League.
so cool. You're gonna love them.
Henry Cavill wants too much money. It's Supergirl now. Just to get rid of him, it's Supergirl now.
They are flailing and
Ben Affleck's too
flapping in the
drunk.
wind.
Make it Batgirl. What do we do?
Yeah. This is the only good DC movie made in the last 5 years.
No,
When did Wonder Woman come out? The
Suicide
first one,
Squad's really
2017?
good too. I really liked the Suicide Squad.
Yeah, but it's like not even a DC movie. It's like just a different thing.
That's like James
Harley
Gunn
Quinn
just
is in it,
using
but
DC
she's like the only DC character that's in it. Like there are other characters that are technically part of DC, but no one, not really.
But yes, I am excited to
Pete
see what
Davidson
they
is
do.
in it, so it's not DC.
Hey, he gets shot in the face in the first 5 minutes.
He does. True.
So Sam,
Doing that.
what do you think they'll do for the follow-up shows?
Okay,
the
so
Arkham Asylum one, and we have the Penguin.
Arkham Asylum show interests me because in this universe, Martha Wayne was Markham
Arkham.
was Martha Arkham,
which is from the comics
in their
too.
previous marriage, which
not a previous marriage. She's from
or
the
from
Arkham
her
family.
previous. That's her maiden name.
Yeah.
And so that creates a very interesting dichotomy between the Waynes and the Arkhams.
Yeah, and it is established she has a history with mental illness,
which Arkham Asylum
presumably will pass on to Mr.
all
Wayne.
makes sense.
Yeah.
That all's coming
Also, they
together.
use that to maybe set up Hush,
yeah,
which if they're gonna do a follow, that would make a sense as
he
a
would
follow-up
be
character.
such a phenomenal villain. For
that
this universe.
that would fit like right in with what they're doing.
I don't know if they would. I hope they do.
If they do, I don't think they'll do
See, that's the
that
thing.
storyline.
They have so many options right now, and
Yeah.
almost all of them are good options,
Yeah, everything except for just doing more Joker,
which is what they're going.
which is what they'll pick.
But like any of the options that they go with, like, even if they do more Joker in this universe, I'm down.
yeah, sure,
I'm down to see more Joker in this universe.
see what he is, see what he's like.
Yeah,
I would like a break from the joke. How long do you think it'll take him to crank out the sequel for this?
I think it'll come out in 2025, 2024.
So
at the
three
earliest.
years.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. I think they're gonna do this Penguin show.
Yeah.
That'll probably be like late next year.
Or I wonder if they might do a Batman show on HBO Max just to like fill the time.
Too much money.
Could be. Yeah, it's probably too expensive.
What I would do is I do a
They did
Catwoman
a Peacemaker show.
That would be a good idea.
I
don't
would
think they're
because
worried about
she
money.
leaves Gotham at the end of this.
Yeah, which off to fight crime in another city.
She said she's going to
Ooh.
Bloodhaven, but what I would do is I'd take her to Rome because there is a Long Halloween spinoff called Catwoman When in Rome, where she goes off on her own for a little bit and kind of evolves as a character.
Well, what does she?
Which
do
is what
while
I
she's
would
in
do.
Rome? What does she do while she's in Rome?
She just kind of like runs around and like fights the mob.
Just have her do that in Bloodhaven.
Yeah, but I think Rome would be a good visual change because because Bloodhaven is basically just more Gotham.
Yeah,
You
but
don't
she's
wanna-
already said Bloodhaven, so can't really do that now.
It's fine. But I would take that character off. I'd do some.
Do some solo.
I
stuff
would
with her.
evolve her into actual Catwoman, and then when they do the second one, bring her back.
She's got the cat,
And she's
mask
and
on.
yeah, she's got the
Yeah.
mask and whatever. The Penguin show.
Also, I like how when she was fighting, what's his name, the mob guy.
Carmine Falcone
Yeah, when she was fighting Falcone, she tries to like
scratches at him.
scratch. I thought that was a little cartoony, but I was like,
Yeah,
At
that's what
least
she
she
did.
didn't have like stupid attachments.
she didn't have like razor claws. She just had long
She
fingernails.
just had long nails.
Yeah.
Which
Um,
that would hurt her. Like when she
Well, they
scratches
were clearly stick on. That would. Yeah.
people, she
No, they were very clearly
No, she
fake
did not
nails.
grow out. She
Grew pointy nails
wait, she could've
that
just,
were like
sharpened
thick.
them.
Those were way too thick to be.
you like
grown.
the scene where it just lingers on her in her underwear for like 3 minutes.
Yeah, because Batman's creepily stalking
'Cause
her.
Batman's
See,
a
that's
creep.
the thing. Like, yeah, that was like clearly like a fan service scene,
Yeah.
but like that also establishes the dynamic between her and Batman
Yeah.
at the time, which is I thought that was a good way of doing it.
Yeah. The Penguin show that'll focus on him becoming the Penguin. Like
And
actually,
this is where he will be taking
Featuring
advantage of the
Penguin's-
chaos in Gotham
Sam.
to become
Yeah,
the
and he'll
de
build
facto
up
crime
his
lord.
his criminal
His
empire.
Yeah,
Do you give him the monocle?
yeah.
Yes.
Give him the monocle.
Okay.
Cool Penguin.
You
Kane
either
too.
give him the monocle and the top hat, or you give him one or the other.
Why not both?
Don't do either. You either do both, or you do one or the other.
Why?
Don't do none of them.
Yeah, I'm saying do both.
Exactly. Do both. At least give him the like top hat. You don't even have to make it like really long.
I mean, I
think
could
give
see
him a
them not
hat.
doing the monocle just because he has a lot of stuff on his face.
Yeah.
But like, gotta give him the top.
Give him the top
Give
hat.
him the top.
And then he doesn't have to wear the bald cap. He can
And the
just wear a hat.
umbrella.
He's got to have an umbrella.
Because it's literally raining all
It's
the time. in Gotham.
It's raining all the time.
I don't
dude.
think it was
It's
ever
just
not
impractical
raining in
for
this
him to
movie.
not have it.
It's like Seattle in here.
Which that's also very Arkham Knight, the video game.
Yeah,
With
it's
the-
always, well, that's
with-
just because it's a video game. And when
It's
shot,
always raining.
Shiny.
And then also the shot gauntlets that he has for one
Yeah,
scene.
also
That's very Arkham Origins.
except for
This
those
is
were on
Arkham.
these ones like
Yeah. Anyway, good movie. Should see.
I'd say
Now-
9 out of 10.
Now
Probably
that
a
it's
bit
come
worse
out
than Lego Batman.
and we've reshuffled our DC schedule, what is your most anticipated DC movie for the remainder of the year?
Still Black
Super
Adam.
Pets, Black
None of
Adam.
them.
No, it's Black Adam.
It's still Black
The
Adam.
only one
None
I
of-
care about.
That's
right
the
now.
only one that looks.
You don't want to see
semi-decent.
Shazam, more
I
Shazam.
don't care about more Shazam. I don't. What other movies even are they coming
Super
out?
Dog, Super
Don't
Pets.
care about Super Dog. Just really Shazam. Really it.
Next year we have Flash and
Don't care about
Aquaman.
Flash. Don't care about
Okay,
unless
Aquaman.
can-
Batgirl
can we
still
move
comes
on?
out
'Cause
this
we've
year,
been
then
here
we'll
for
maybe
quite a
have
while.
Batgirl too.
Don't care about Batgirl either.
Batgirl will
That's-
definitely not, because it was supposed to come out in
Move
December, and if we have a different DC movie in December, it's just gonna.
Also,
kill
we
it.
have another
come
Batman
on.
right now, and if they do Batgirl right now, that's going to be really confusing
Yeah.
for people.
It's already gonna be confusing.
It's already a pain to have to explain this
Yeah.
to people. People are like, should I go see it? I'm not caught up on the other movies. I'm like, nope, there's a new one.
New one.
Totally new
Yep.
universe. I know they didn't tell you that. That's the deal.
So you got this, and then you have the Black Superman universe, which is also going to be a
Yes, the one
standalone
with
thing.
That.
And then you have the
Iron
main
Man.
DCEU, which is going to be rebooted and get rid of half of its
I was
films.
talking
Yep.
about Apple.
Sam, do you want to
All
talk
right,
about Apple
I
for
think
10
that's
minutes?
pretty much it for the Batman.
Yep.
I think like
Seriously,
8 out
this
of 10
Apple-
at least. I say it's very good. Probably,
It's a strong recommend.
I think it's the best superhero movie I've seen.
It's especially.
When was the last
Did
time
you like
I
it better
saw a
than
movie?
Spider-Man?
Yeah.
I did.
No, it's
too.
a better movie.
It's a better movie than Spider-Man.
Spider-Man's more fun for sure, but this
This is a movie I would watch.
this is
like-
almost like an art piece film.
Yeah.
As opposed to Spider-Man, which is just like. And
This one
Spider-Man
could.
was
I
very
don't know,
similar to Endgame for me, where I was like, I had fun, I enjoyed it.
it was a
I
spectacle.
will never watch it again.
Yeah.
This one would like win an Oscar. It's not gonna win an Oscar, but it like
See, that's
could
the
win
thing.
an
Any
Oscar.
one of these performances, I feel, are Oscar worthy.
I think it should at least get nominated for
The Penguin.
I mean, granted, it's March. We haven't seen.
Yeah,
It'll get nominated for makeup because of the Penguin.
obviously, yeah.
And then I think cinematography is a strong maybe,
Strong maybe.
especially since they like that Greg Fraser. He just
Visual
got nominated for
effects.
Dune.
Did you know that the shot with the Batmobile jumping through the fire was practical?
Yeah.
That's
I heard an interview where he
crazy.
said that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was actually the stunt driver for that.
Hey, Max.
And my dad is the president too. It's pretty cool.
My dad is Joey Bitey.
My dad is Joe Biden.
Biden.
Somehow he's 80, and I'm like,
Yeah, I feel like practical effects. I feel like its effects could win. There wasn't a lot of effects. So I don't think it'll win it. I think
It was.
nominated.
That's another thing I really liked. Literally everything wasn't CGI.
Yeah, it
all
looked
the
very.
time.
It made the environment so much grittier.
They did use the volume,
Yeah.
which you could tell. All the scenes where they were on that one rooftop with the bat single,
Mhm.
that was all volume.
And you can. It's
You
pretty
knew it
good,
was volume.
Yeah.
But
But it
I
looks
like
good
it.
enough
It's
that like
fine.
you don't care.
yeah, it wasn't like the Mandalorian stuff has gotten so annoying to me that it's just the same like Tatooine
CGI.
background all the time.
Yeah.
That it gets annoying. But I do like how they did mostly practical stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. Robert Pattinson. Again, any of these performances could be
Yeah.
nominated. I think.
I think Joker.
Just a
or not
great
Joker,
all around
or-
great movie.
My one note: you must do more Alfred. Give me more
Yeah.
Alfred. He's in like 3 scenes. We never see him get out of the hospital. As far as we know, he died.
I don't think he's dead.
He's
but
not
Bruce,
But-
I warmed
He
up
could
some
be very
lobster
sad
for
in
you.
the hospital.
No, that character is so important to like how Batman evolves. I do think he'll have a bigger role in the second one, but
Because as Batman changes, he has to.
yeah, Alfred is his moral compass.
Yeah. You know,
Bruce, I warmed up these frozen French fries.
Alfred is
up,
almost
lady.
as important to Batman as like Lois Lane is to Superman.
yeah.
In terms of like keeping them from just snapping
Alfred's
and
the
going
guy
nuts.
who goes to Batman is like, hey, what are you doing?
You need to calm down.
Just guy,
chill out a little bit.
chill, have some tea,
That's what was so great about the Lego Batman. Alfred is the whole time he's like just basically Batman's
his one
dad.
trait is he just shows up and he's just like,
Calm down,
Batman, what are you
Batman.
doing?
Stop,
Just quit.
Batman, chill out.
Batman, stop it.
Anyways,
Sam,
great
talk
movie.
to me about iPhones.
All right, so tech time. Maybe I know this podcast is going long, but it's okay. We got a lot of stuff to cover. So there was a new,
I think we sped through news pretty quick though.
there was a new Apple.
I
event
don't think your computer's plugged in, by the way.
plugged in. Unless the
It
phone
says,
fell out.
on the thing.
Yeah,
that
it's not plugged
No,
in,
that
Sam.
little exclamation point means it's plugged into it
No, it's not plugged in.
because that's USB.
She got a slow
Oh,
charge.
Yeah, that's not important. Apple event. We got a new iPhone SE3 announced, which has
Ooh.
it is basically an iPhone 8 body with an iPhone 10R camera and an iPhone 13 processor.
Mm-hmm.
So the Frankenstein. So you know the phone you got right there?
Yeah.
Okay, imagine if instead of the old processor that barely turns on anymore,
Uh-huh.
it had like an iPhone 13 processor in it and better battery life. And that's basically what the iPhone SE3 is. We got a new iPad Air 4, which I guess Apple is just done with the iPad Pro. I guess they're just done with those. The new iPad Air 4 has the M1 chip in it, which if you're a fan of tech at all, you know that chip's absolutely bonkers and nuts and does all kinds of crazy magic. It's the one that's in the current iPad Pro lineup. They're bringing that to the iPad Air, which I'm worried is probably going to cannibalize at least the small iPad Pros. Because aside from the 120 hertz screen, now there's basically a small iPad Pro.
Don't worry, they'll replace it.
Yeah, it'll come out. They already said that another one's coming out later this year.
This is like they always have two of these, right? They have one that's everything but phones, and then they have one that's just
yeah.
phones.
Usually they have one at the beginning
And the
of the
phones
year.
one is always in September.
Yeah. We have the new Mac Studio,
Which is insane.
and
What is this?
I don't think I can
Is this a computer?
Yeah, so I don't think I can properly convey to you how stupid, like ridiculously overpowered this computer is.
yeah, the
Can
new
it
chip.
play Fortnite?
No, because they still have that lawsuit thing going
Oh
on.
right.
But okay,
Can it play Minecraft?
let me. So it has. So see right there. So it has the M1 Ultra processor. So let me
Yes, I know what this
so
all means.
There's the M1 processor. That's the one on this iPad, right?
Yeah.
The one on their MacBook Air lineup.
Mm-hmm.
Then there's the M1 Pro, which is their mid-level processor, and then there's
Yeah.
the M1 Max, their biggest.
So there's the M1, the M1 Pro, the M1 Max, and the M1 Ultra.
Yes, and the Ultra is okay. So on
Why
the,
don't they just call
listen-
this one the M4?
because it's different. Let me explain. So the M1 Max chip had an unused connector on the
Yeah.
bottom of it.
That was a
that they-
secret teaser for this follow-up.
Literally,
It's like the post-credit
it
scene of
connects.
iPhones.
They connect two M1 Max chips together. I'm not even kidding. They took two M1
That's
Max
incredible.
chips, built a secret connector for them, put them together.
Oh my god.
Those chips are able to share between each other with this like magic connector 2.5 terabytes per second worth of data transfer to each other.
Here
They
at
literally
Apple.
glued together two chips and they made the most powerful chip ever.
Yeah, literally.
Here at Apple,
that
we
might
have the
be the
brightest
coolest
of
thing.
scientists.
I know it's like the Voltron of computers.
That's literally like the genesis of that idea was one guy was like, "Hey," and then he just like stuck them together, and everyone was like, "Oh, oh."
Here at Apple, our scientists are the best.
We had this one really cool chip, and we thought, what if we had two of them?
What
For our
if we
next
put
iPhone, we
two
glued
together?
two iPhones together with Elmer's glue.
Well, no, Samsung did that already with the Fold. the recent technological trend has been
It's just
stick two together.
two things together.
But okay, so this new Mac Studio with the M1 Ultra has 128 gigabytes of shared RAM.
Ooh,
Now let me explain what that means.
what is shared RAM and normal RAM? What's
So
the difference?
normal RAM, that's what your computer stores the information that it needs to use right now.
There's a
Yes.
little RAM
so
in your
it's a lot.
computer.
It's much faster than SSDs.
I don't know anything about computers, by the way.
So it's much faster than SSDs, which are already much faster than hard drives.
Yes.
Right? So this has 128 gigabytes of RAM. For context, this laptop with a Ryzen 9 has 16 gigabytes of regular memory RAM, regular default RAM.
Yes.
And the graphics card has 6 gigabytes of VRAM, which is the RAM that it uses to process like rendering graphics. Yeah. This has 128 gigabytes of shared RAM, so it can choose to use that RAM for either thing, which means potentially this has 128 gigabytes of VRAM. That's
would have the greatest graphics the world's ever
that's
seen.
nearly 3 times the amount of VRAM in the unreleased RTX 3090 Ti, which is NVIDIA's unreleased flagship god killer graphics card, right?
Uh-huh.
And this is on a computer half the size of this Xbox.
So this will never actually get released.
It's
right?
coming out late, like next month, something like that.
It's
It's
like
gonna
if
cost
they...
about $100,000.
No, it's
It costs-
$4,000.
If you max it out all the way,
okay. That's
It's
a
like
lot.
but it makes
But
sense.
if I can run Minecraft in the best graphics ever seen,
Yeah, like for
I'll
context,
think about it.
I mean, I feel like I've established the context, but like nothing else in this price category competes with that.
Now tell me about the studio display.
All right, so that's the other big thing. So alongside the studio, the Mac Studio, they announced the new studio display. Now they already had their flagship display, which was the Pro Display XDR,
Yes.
which was a 6K HDR. I think it was like 24, 27.
6K. It's not even
6K.
8K.
Yeah, but it was it's basically the greatest monitor you can buy at the moment. It has it has the best color calibration, the best color representation, the quickest, integration with Apple stuff. So this is sort of a tiered down version of that. It's 5K. It does have improved speakers, and it has the same camera that's in the iPads.
Yes.
Which also the iPad Air got the same camera that's in the Pro now as well.
Uh-huh.
I didn't mention that. It has the same, so it will also get the center stage effect. You know how if you I don't know if you've seen FaceTime someone on the iPads, any of the new iPads, when you move around in the room, the camera will, because it's such a wide camera, that it actually like follows you around as you walk around the room, which is really cool. If you've never seen it, it's a
That is
pretty cool
creepy.
effect. So that will be coming to the Max, which makes, I feel like, the most sense out of people use that for
'Cause
video
for Zoom
conferencing all the time.
calls? Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's coming to it. It has supposedly
I mean,
the best
FaceTime
That's supposedly the best speakers ever that Apple has
ever
ever
existed.
made. They claim that it has spatial audio.
in the speakers.
Yeah, which if you know what spatial audio is,
That would just be bad.
that's what they said about the Max, like the colorful Max. They said that the speakers have spatial audio.
Mhm.
They're stereo speakers. Shut up, Apple. Like, just shut up, Apple. There's 2 speakers.
No one needs spatial audio on their speakers.
Well, that doesn't even make they're not pitching audio from behind
Yeah.
you.
If
That doesn't
you
even make
put-
sense.
You don't really need spatial audio anyway. It's
No,
just
yeah.
a gimmick.
Yeah.
If you put the speakers right here, it's spatial audio.
Yeah, like
If
that's
you
one of those.
stick this in your ear.
That's one of those things where Apple is just like, well, it's stereo, but Apple has to name.
It's one of their buzzwords, so they
Yeah,
have to use
Apple
it.
has to name every feature so that the common consumer realizes how cool it is.
Well, that and they
So instead of-
associate the feature that is common on other devices with the Apple
Exactly.
brand.
So, for example, this iPad has a 120 hertz display.
Yes.
If I tell someone that, they're like, what does that mean? If I say, this display is ProMotion, twice as fast as your regular,
ProMotion.
they're like, oh,
Now
ProMotion.
that sounds good.
that sounds cool.
That's
so, like,
better than
Apple has to name their
no
things.
motion.
So when they have their, surround sound feature, they call it
spatial audio.
because that's just Apple's
Now
got to name
this
their thing.
new-
So audio in a space.
So
This
anyways,
new computer has super
this-
copper wire
this-
motion.
It's supposed to
chip.
have super good speakers. That's all
Yeah.
well and dandy. It has an A13 chip
Yeah.
on it, which is that's the processor for, I believe, the iPhone
72.
11.
61.
That's the iPhone 11 processor.
Uh-huh.
Presumably it's just because it's 5K, it has to process a lot of pixels. It just needs a lot of power to manage that.
So wait, can I
So-
open Google just off the monitor?
No, still have to plug it into a Mac. It's just because it's such a high resolution that it basically has to have its own rendering engine to process what's on screen.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, and then it also can you can plug computers into it, and it will fast charge them up to 95 watts over Thunderbolt, which is just monitors don't do that. They just don't. So yeah, that's all the. Oh, okay, my computer died.
Now,
All right, so now I came out here.
Can I
But,
pour detergent on it?
Yeah, so it's got super cool
Is that enough?
camera, super
Is it
cool.
gonna save that
speakers.
audio file?
Yeah, no, it's done this
I
before.
don't need to hold this up.
Yeah, it's just gonna be the mic audio from this point out.
Cool.
Oh my god!
But yeah,
That's what you call good podcast quality.
so yeah, a lot of cool products announced. Oh, and then they announced the green iPhone 13. 10, 13 Pro.
Wow.
So that's,
We've made the
they
best
did the
computer
same
ever
thing last
made.
year with the purple iPhone 12, where they just like chucked it out there like halfway through the quarter.
Look, it's color.
Just to encourage the people who haven't upgraded yet to upgrade.
Guys, we've made the best computer ever made. This iPhone is also green now.
Obviously, they didn't lead with the best computer ever. That was the main thing. And then the last thing they announced is that they have one more Mac to announce later in the year, presumably the Mac Pro, which we haven't heard anything about. A lot of people assume the studio would just replace the Pro. Apparently, it's not.
The Pro is
a
going to
new
be twice
thing.
as good.
Yeah, so a lot of people are literally thinking, if we take 2 and 1 Maxes, stick them together. Take 2 and 1 Ultras, and stick them together.
We're going to make Terminator.
So
it becomes a hologram. It's like a robot.
It just
spawns
explodes
out.
and it's like an Autobot.
It shuts down the power
it becomes
grid.
Optimus Prime.
Yeah.
It shuts down the
So
entire
yeah, a lot of cool
United
new products
States
from
power
Apple.
grid.
I feel like the Mac Studio is going. I mean, that's truly an
You know what
innovative
we should
computer.
do? You know this segment that we barely do tech time,
Mhm.
right? We should just rename it Apple Time. Because when we talk about tech stuff, it's like the only thing. we do.
Apple and
Well, because
graphics
this
cards.
podcast is mainly targeted at your average person.
No, we added text
And they don't
because
know what a
Wyatt-
gigahertz
And
is.
if I tell you, oh, they're at the actually, you know, we probably should start adding other stuff because I get asked these questions all the time, like on stream, like,
we should just
what
do a tech-
processor should I get? And I'm like, well, I could explain it to you for 30
Maybe
minutes.
Patrick
or I
should
could
just
play
do
the
a
game.
tech show.
Yeah, we probably should. But yeah, this is all very cool. I'm excited for that.
No, we added text time because Wyatt wanted to talk.
Well,
about
normally,
it.
yeah, used to because Wyatt was here.
And then he
Yeah,
stopped.
Wyatt.
coming
He only came
Come
for 2
back.
episodes.
Pat Wyatt,
And then-
Wyatt featured host.
The last 2 Apple events I did with Brendan, but I knew he was busy, so we just threw it in here. But yeah, I don't think there was a whole lot else announced at the event. They announced
New Apple
I think
dog.
that's pretty much it. They didn't
Why
announce any
haven't there
software
been robot
things.
cats or dogs yet?
And Max is back to making you dumb
Max,
comments.
what does that
And that's
mean?
how you know that the show's wrapping
All
up.
right, listen.
Thank you, everybody.
Wait, we got rumor time.
There was one thing, but it
There's
doesn't.
one
Daredevil,
rumor time. Wait, we
whatever.
gotta check it out. What was the rumor? I didn't see.
It's
Daredevil project may start shooting this year after the character appears in Echo and She-Hulk. So he's been in a lot of things recently.
Yes, and they're coming to that show's coming to Disney Plus.
Yeah,
this
so
week.
it makes a lot of sense.
So thank you everybody for
Happy Mario Day!
watching
Today
and
is March
listening
10th.
and
I just dated the podcast.
for watching the show. Even though all of the news we report is 5 days irrelevant, at least by the time these go up.
Have a good one.
Subscribe. Bye bye.
Bye.